What's up? Okay. Whoa. Why do I sound different? Do I sound different? Or is this just me? Oh man, this is so weird. I sound so different on my end. Oh my god, I don't know what to make of this. This is super weird. This is super weird. Maybe... Oh my god. Hold on a second. Y'all gotta bear with me, because I don't know if I can stand it if I sound like a tin can in my headphones. Super weird. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's better. Jeez. All right, I don't know what that was all about, but we got it. Glad it sounds fine for you guys. All right, cheers. What's up? No idea what I did, but I fixed it by pulling the cord out and putting it back in. So there we go. When in doubt, pull out the cord and put it back in. Hello, friends. It's so good to have you on board for a lovely evening. I hope you are doing well tonight. Ciora, good to see you. John Javi, hello. Shelbs, Pirate Kitty, Celery, Zorth, King, Victoria, Katie, hello. You're a bit tinny on our end, but like barely. I noticed it when you brought it up. Yeah, right? It's just weird. What's up, Solo? Taco? Ciora? Man, I gotta tell you, this new extension is neato. You all have colors now. It's fabulous. John Javi, thank you so much for the membership, by the way. I appreciate that immensely. Donald, good to see you. DL, hello. Panda, good evening. Red Sox up 3-2 in the ALDS. I'm doing okay. Nice. You are green, or you are orange on my end, Yappy. You're a colorful bunch. You are indeed. Unless you're at a medical facility, then absolutely do not plug anything without knowing what you're doing, right? Moving to YouTube was a fantastic decision. Well, I'm glad you like it. I know it's not for everybody. Great to see you on YouTube Live. It's great to be here. It's great to have so many of you along for the ride. Now, I theoretically have subtitles tonight. I don't know exactly how you access them. And it may be that you cannot. And if you can't, that's okay, because it gives me information about what I need to make sure that I fix going forward. I'm pretty sure you can't, because I have a little monitor on my end of trying to see what's possible, and it doesn't look like it's there, which is a bummer. I know live captions will work on Chrome, but I tried to do an actual interface through web captioner through OBS, which is pretty cool, but the only way I could see if it was going to work was if I was live. Pirate Kitty, thank you for the membership. I appreciate it. Yeah, so I was trying to... There's a way that you can run it through OBS, and then it supposedly kicks it to CCs for YouTube, but I don't know. Apparently not. Oh well. Is what it is. I'm not going to worry about it. I don't know if you saw my comment on the last video, but I want to recommend Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning to Chat. Great book for anybody interested in psychology. I have not read that. And I have not gone through YouTube comments yet today, so... Okay, here we go. Well, at least I have you all with colors. Can somebody tag me real quick? I don't know if... Oh, wait, there we go. DrMick, they just need to turn on CC on the vid, then go to the menu of your browser with the music note and turn it on there. A pop-up will come on. Interesting. Topic shirt today? Yeah, right. Yeah, captions may not actually be available. It wouldn't surprise me if that was the case. Also, I gotta reload really quick. There we go. Okay. Sorry for the little mini bit of troubleshooting here. I spent a lot of time today fixing some stuff and trying to operate a bot. And I think we might have some cool stuff. But it appears to be on a delay. I'm going to ask you guys about your day in a second here. Okay, there we go. Captions working for me using iHeart Gameplay's instructions. All right, so wait. So they just need to turn on closed captioning on the vid, go to the menu in your browser with the music note and turn it on there. I think that's Chrome Live Capture if people are on Chrome. Thank you for the tags, by the way. Appreciate it. Captions working for me using those instructions. Yeah, I pulled up the stream in Firefox and I don't get the little hamburger music note on there. Yeah, there you go. All right, so what time are we playing today? We're starting Detroit about 10:30. But first I want to catch up. Yes, you can. You can catch up on the live video. It's pretty great. It's a nice little feature here. I want to ask all of you if you could take a second. Click the like button below the video. I want to get all of us in a habit of doing that. It makes a big difference for getting me in the algorithm. It is an option if you have Chrome. Yeah, I was just hoping that the OBS extension was going to work properly, but apparently not. Live captions are pretty good, honestly. Yeah, Chrome does a pretty good job with that. Just a shame that the live captioner is not working. Thank you for those of you that are pressing the live button or the like button. Okay, how was your day? Now that I'm situated a little bit here. How's it going? How was your Sunday? How's your Monday going? For those of you where it's Monday. There's a Will, there's a 12-year-old on YouTube with a tech tutorial to help. It is true. If you sub your blue, if you sub in your blue, do you turn purple? No, fortunately. Boring Sunday. Yeah, the Raiders lost today, which really sucked. Didn't like that. Question for my psychology test today. Already submitted, so no cheating here. How do you feel about DSM-5 labels? It asked me to find reasons supporting the labels and vice versa. How do I feel about DSM-5 labels? Why am I having a brain fart right now? Oh, you're talking about diagnostic, like the actual diagnostic. I never hear them called labels. Are you talking about like how do I feel about the fact that diagnoses exist? Had kind of a rough day. I've been struggling with anxiety lately, not sure why. I keep on convincing myself that my closest friend doesn't like me, even though deep down I know she does. Anxiety's trying to convince you of that. You don't have to listen to it. What's up, Nikki? Busy making stuffing for my turkey tomorrow. Nice. What's up, Bard? It's going good. Was playing some DXHR today. Ran into Zeke and went full empathize with a bit of reason and worked pretty well. Hostage situation captor was nervous AF. I don't know what any of that means, but sounds fun. My Sunday was good. I baked pumpkin bread. Took my dog for a walk. Love that. All the Canadians were probably cooking today, huh? I imagine so, yeah. Because it was today? Or is it tomorrow is Canadian Thanksgiving? When is Canadian Thanksgiving? I want to go to the Blue Angels in San Francisco. Nice. Do it. Tomorrow. Got it. Okay. The complete question was, a newspaper editorial argues that the continued use of DSM-5 labels is destructive. First, give reasons supporting this argument and defend the continued use. Oh, God. What else? I mean, I think my... well, man, I'm going to sound agitated when I answer this, and it's not because I'm agitated with you, Mia. It's because I think that's a dumb question. I can understand it, like, but what else are you going to do? Like, we got to have names for stuff. Like, the thing that I always contend about diagnoses is that diagnoses are certainly about what things are, and they're a best estimate with what we know about things. It's not a de facto list of things, like, or it's not a de facto, like, this is what it is, which is why it evolves. But it also helps us understand what somebody's bodies of symptoms isn't. And, like, for so many people, having a diagnosis is incredibly helpful because it gives them an understanding of what's going on for them and can help develop a treatment plan for it. I think the idea that, like, we would just throw it all out, like, that would be ridiculous. We would never do that with physical health. We would never say, like, throw out the idea, hey, no, don't call this cancer. Don't call this heart disease. Don't call this high blood pressure. Don't call this an aneurysm. To me, that's a ridiculous notion. Like, I understand that, like, we don't like things being limited. We don't like the idea that maybe labels are going to change over time as we learn more about it. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for that, but it's not the labels themselves that are problematic. It's what people do with them. Yeah, I agree, Hart. Deus Ex Human Revolution. Oh, I haven't played those games, but they are kind of on my radar, so hopefully that's not too spoilery, Gappy, but it's no big deal if it is. I'll live. Super glad I made it to Phoenix Day. About damn time, Victoria. I'm currently a double major in psychology and brain and cognitive science. I'm learning a lot from you, where I can go in my psych class and bring up certain things I've learned. Thank you, Caitlin. I'm happy to help. Love having psych folks in here. Mary, good to see you. Loyal, hello. What's the best way to talk to somebody about seeking therapy without sounding rude? You don't decide whether you sound rude. They do. The best thing that you can do with talking to people about therapy is to listen to the reasons why they do or don't want to do it. Be ready to intercept if people are nervous about it. Be willing to listen to the reasons they don't want to go. Understand that the stigma follows. Even if you think something about therapy, they may not. And so you can talk about where you're coming from, talk about your own experience with it if you have your own experience with it, but you do your best. You know, you say it as nicely as you can. If a person doesn't want to have the conversation and set boundaries, listen to the boundaries. It's really the best you can do. Instructor notes spent like one page on the DSM-5 and then goes on to ask us this. The questions she asked are slightly upsetting. That's like the kind of question you would ask. I'm not even kidding about this, Mia. That's the kind of question you would ask like in a doctoral level seminar. It's not a question for undergrads to answer. And I might even argue it's not totally a question for grad students to answer. Mental health stigma sucks. The label shouldn't be an issue problematic. There are means to go about debate. I mean, yeah, it's just... It further splits the idea that somehow mental illness isn't as legitimate as physical illness. Literally 1,000 level course I'm taking for an elective. That's wild to me. What's up, $2? So the Oregon COVID vaccine mandate deadline takes effect in about a week, and I've heard that a couple of our plebs are actually being terminated over refusing to get it. Good. I don't know. I don't have a lot of patience for people who aren't getting it, especially if they're in healthcare. I mean, I don't like when people lose their jobs, but that's their choice. So if not getting vaccinated is more important than having a job, more power to you. That sucks though if that screws over the people that are left behind because now you're short-staffed. That sucks. I've been feeling really down, lost my desire to stream, went off the grid a bit. Just streamed tonight and it really cheered me up. I hate how depression makes me lose interest in my passions. It does. It's a nasty, nasty thing. I meant to say I wanted to see the Blue Angels. I went to see them. Oh, cool. I hope you enjoyed it. Hayden, hello. Glad my work is really taking it seriously. I'm baffled there are still holdouts. That blows my mind that you could work in healthcare and be a holdout on that. Blows my mind. I got an 80% on my other exam because of how much I've learned through the stream, and that felt nice. Really? I mean, that's really cool if that's the case. If the stream has had any impact on your ability to do well in a psych class, that makes me feel really good. A recent label is the reason I'm on the right meds. Label me all you want if I get to function as a human, right? Yeah, I'm on 1,000% on the get out side of things too. Yeah, it's hard for, I don't have sympathy for anti-vax at this point. Vaccine should be mandatory, but especially in the medical field. If you think your Facebook friends know more than your medical training, you shouldn't be a nurse or a doctor. I agree. I mean, it's one of those things like when I say, you know, you matter, your experiences are valid, don't let anybody ever tell you otherwise. It's true. I'm mostly talking about your emotional experience. And if you don't want to get the vaccine, then you need to live with the consequences. But I like the idea of places becoming increasingly more rigid about get your ass vaccinated or get out. That's fine. You know, flying in a plane is a luxury. It is a privilege. It is not a right. So if you don't want to get vaccinated, you don't want to wear a mask, then walk for all I care. Take a car, drive your unvaccinated ass across the country if that's what you want to do. Like, I just, at this point, if there are consequences to not getting vaccinated, I don't feel bad for you. I didn't have time to go over entire notes and chapters, but I remembered a lot of things based on answers you've given over time. I've been here. That's really cool. I actually brought up something you talked about in The Last of Us in this game to my professor. She was pretty surprised and didn't know how to respond. I hope in a good way. That's kind of cool, though. There have been vaccine mandates before in history. It's not like this is anything new. I know, right? I prefer Fading or Frost to my real name. So, Fading. I'm going to post a link in chat. You can change your name on YouTube only. This video will walk you through how to do that. It takes like 2 seconds. You can change your name on YouTube and not anywhere else. So if you want to be called Fading or Frost, you can make sure that that's the case. Also, where the hell is Coconut Man? I literally set up an entire new bot today, and he's not here. What is the deal here? I spent so much time today getting this damn bot set up. I saw Coconut Man pre-stream. What? Why am I unauthorized for this bot? What are you talking about here? What? Why am I unauthorized to my own bot? I don't like this. I don't like the implications of this. Did their site crash? What the hell? Okay, well, that's fun. Maybe Jamaica. Are you right? People in healthcare are being mad because they're fired for refusing to get vaccinated is like if restaurant employees were to get mad after being fired for refusing to wash their hands. I agree. Have you tried constructing additional pylons? It's a great point, Diora. I got to draw something for fun today, which was very nice. Plus, I have the next 3 days off, so I get to go out to lunch with a friend tomorrow. I'm excited to practice some self-care. Awesome, Seven. Your bot is breaking up with you. Seriously. He went to the beach. I wonder if the main screen AI helped Coconut Man embrace his deviancy. He must have. I don't understand that. It's super weird. It was working great all day, and now all of a sudden it's like completely MIA. I don't know if their server went down or what. Like, I'm legitimately confused because when I go to log in, like, I'm logged out completely, and then I go to log in with YouTube, and it's just straight up not letting me do that. I wonder if it's because I'm live or something. I have no idea. Very weird. Coconut Man is not in Australia anymore. Coconut Man has been moved to the... He's free now. Yeah. It's because we've been playing Detroit. He wants to be liberated along with the rest of the androids. Well, whatever. We'll figure it out. Good old Coconut Man. I have a question. The anti-vaccine people, do you think it's fear on their part or they just have low IQ? I don't like to call anti-vax people stupid because there are some incredibly intelligent people who are making the decision. My inclination is to say that the vast majority are afraid and have been seduced into a spirit of anti-intellectualism. There are a lot of people that are threatened by experts, that are threatened by people who have spent their lives dedicated to one thing and know more about it than they do. One of the problems with social media is that social media has passively sent a message to all of us that anything we have to say matters as much as anybody else. Where your cousin on Facebook saying something they heard about the vaccine should be held with equivalent value as a doctor who has spent 35 years as an immunologist. And so people have this real fear that that maybe people know something more than they do, and there's cynicism associated with that, where if people know something more than I do, they have power over me, and I want to flex my autonomy and own personal sense of power by fighting against it. And that's a lot of what drives people to make really dumb decisions that are not in their own self-interest. It's misinformation, it's confirmation bias, it's a whole bunch of things, right? So if a person is totally okay to get the vaccine and is willingly denying getting it despite every freaking doctor in the universe, if you have 900 doctors that say get the vaccine and you have one that says don't, people who have an internal bias against it are going to listen to the one doctor who says don't. And it's a shame. So that's where you have to get into widespread control variables, where you're essentially saying you can't fly on this plane unless you're wearing a mask. You can't come into Allegiant Stadium unless you show proof of vaccination, et cetera, et cetera. Like you have to have overrides for it. It's a flex of autonomy. It's people conflating freedom with bucking the system. I like to compare the vaccine thing to a construction worker unwilling to wear a helmet or safety boots, or trucker unwilling to wear a seatbelt. Doesn't make sense to me. I agree. While I hate anti-vaxxers, I really think they're motivated by fear in most cases. What I can't stand are the ones that are anti-vaccine just because they don't want to in freedom. Yeah, no, it's true. And it's true. At the end of the day, you can make the decision not to get the vaccine. You can make that decision. But if there are consequences for that decision, you have to live with them. So in the same way that you have freedom not to get the vaccine, private businesses have the freedom to tell you you can't come here if you aren't. Like, you can't have it both ways. You can't say I get freedom and you don't. If you think that there's freedom, then everybody has freedom. So if I say you can't come into this Target unless you show me proof of vaccination, that's a consequence of your actions, and that is the right of that place to do it. What we're seeing, though, is people saying I have freedom to not get vaccinated, but also you can't tell me that I can't come in here. No, too bad, man. That's the consequence. We don't let people drive drunk. That's the way I look at it. They're making their personal decision affect the safety of others. Right. I think a lot of it is mental health problem in America causing people to make decisions not get the vaccine. I know. I honestly, with all due respect, Ninja Dogs, you can't chalk that up to a mental health problem. Way too many people use that shit as an excuse. This is people of sound mind and body making a decision not to do a thing because they feel like it's a threat to their freedom. That's not a mental health issue. We toss that kind of language around way too often. I finished your Last of Us Let's Play. Gotta say, you do a great job explaining it. Thank you, Fady. Hope I don't get banned from entering certain spaces. Not that I go anywhere. Well, E-dubs, it sounds like you have legitimate reason not to get one, right? Like, if your doctor is telling you don't get it yet because of reason, like, that's okay. That's different than just wanting to own the libs by not getting it. Your freedoms end where mine start. The past 2 years has really opened my eyes about a lot of people around me. especially being immunocompromised. Yep. Everybody's free to get vaccinated, but everybody else has the right to live in a society free of contagion. Yeah. That can certainly be the case, Ninja. I think it's more that people are susceptible to influence by folks in power. I just don't appreciate when people get mad at service workers who are just trying to do their job, right? By the way, for those of you that are just rolling in here, feel free to let me know how you're doing. Would love to hear how your day was. Or how your weekend was. We'll be starting Detroit here in about 20 minutes, which I'm very much looking forward to. And I appreciate all of you being here and continuing to come out to YouTube land to spend some time. Also, Diligent, good to see ya. If anybody's just rolling in here, please take a second. Below this video, hit the thumbs up button. Let YouTube know you like it here. I ate a bunch of food for dinner, fell asleep recently, woke up, and now I'm eating oatmeal bread toast, and we'll probably fall asleep again. That works. I really want to watch the finale live, but I don't think I have it in me. I need so much sleep. Hey, the VOD will be there, Mia. I've had a good day. I've enjoyed the rain and thunderstorms that came through this evening. Nice. I got a new map making tool called Wonder Draft. It's super helpful. I've been learning geography to make it more realistic. That's badass. Hey, new to the lives. I went on a hike with a group from my college today, and it was super fun, even though it was rainy and cold. Well, welcome in, Sparrow. Hope you enjoyed that hike. Shout out to anybody who's lurking. Yes, thank you, Siora, because the bot's down. Took a nap the other day. When I woke up, it was only around 6, but dark out. It was super disoriented. Yeah, I hate that. I hate when it gets dark at 6:30. I want to try this bot again. I'm really confused about why the bot is acting up. It's gotta be because I'm live. Huh. Wow. What's up, Yash? Dr. Mick, I'm looking to become a therapist. Was wondering if a PhD is required. Nope. Not unless you want to be a psychiatrist, in which case you actually have to get a medical degree. And then clinical psychology is a doctoral path. But nope, if you want to be a marriage and family therapist, a social worker, or a clinical psychological counselor, mental health counselor, no, you just need a master's degree. PhD is if you want to work in academia. I usually like all of the videos I watch. Thank you for doing that, Sorth. Hard to turn off your therapist brain in everyday life? Is there a need to turn it off sometimes? I don't know. The way I look at it, therapy assimilates better into my mindset in general. Like, the stuff that I talk about while I'm playing games and while I'm streaming and stuff, I mean, I generally think about that stuff anyway. It's not distressing to me. Like, I could see how from an outsider's perspective, you would think, man, is thinking about things from the perspective of a therapist tiring? And no, it's just how my brain works. So it's really like asking me to shut off my therapist brain is sort of like asking me to shut off my brain. Now, do I chill out when I'm like offline and I'm just like screwing around playing golf with friends and stuff? Like, yeah, I'm not like sitting there analyzing all of the group dynamics in the same way I would when I'm like on the clock as a therapist, but it's not a burden to carry for me. I don't mind it. Any updates on the golf stream or the trial run? So now that I've moved to YouTube, I have to make sure that I have that set up properly, but that is something that I am going to be working on figuring out. Might even be this week. I may take some time either Wednesday or Thursday to get that figured out. So we may do a little test pilot stream for that. I think Dr. Mick was a therapist at heart before I even got the degree. You were correct. Can you speak on how the pandemic has affected the mental health of service workers? I feel like this isn't talked about enough and people have reached their breaking point. Oh, God. I mean, that would be a conversation that would take probably 3 hours for me to go through. I mean, it's not like there's this universal effect that the pandemic has had on all service workers. I think individual people would tell you that it's had an effect on them in different ways. I think the best way that I could answer that, though, is that it's put people in really rough positions of working really hard hours, having to draw in some ways upon their values in order to hang in there. I think a lot of service workers have also been taken for granted and treated very poorly by folks who are afraid. But it's mostly burnout. It's people being pushed to the limit in a space that, you know, they certainly voluntarily entered, but probably weren't prepared for how awful it was going to be. I mean, the lack of consistent leadership, I think, is what hurt everybody, not just service workers. We didn't get consistent messaging throughout the pandemic. That was really bad. If that would have been very consistent and clear from the very beginning, I think we would have saved ourselves a lot of trouble. But it got politicized very quickly, and I'm not going to go down that wormhole, but I just think that service workers are kind of the target of a lot of projection and nastiness that they don't deserve to be hit with. And that will wear on you. That'll burn you out. It becomes harder and harder to connect with the reason you do a very difficult job. How are we feeling about the Raiders so far this season? I'm not happy about the last 2 weeks. I thought that the Raiders were going to finish last in the division at the beginning of the year. I was very surprised that they were 3-0. I am not surprised that they are 3-2. I'm more surprised that I'm surprised they lost to the Bears this week. But honestly, I was prepared for the Raiders to finish last and not make the playoffs. So I'd say it's about in line with what I expected. You're not going to psychoanalyze your friends whiffing basketball shots in Circus. Are you even trying? It's like, you're right. I got to step up my game. Tomorrow's my first day at my old job. It's also my birthday. I'm 25. I'm old, man. Yeah, 31-year-old me doesn't think you're old. So hearing you say that, let's see, hey Doc and Chad, I just caught up on last Detroit stream. I really love the convo about kids can't be manipulative. I was told I was manipulative all the time growing up, so hearing you say that has really helped me come to terms with the fact that I'm not the person people accuse me of being. This is often the case, honey bunny. I'm glad that conversation helped. Huge amount of the healthcare staffing shortages stories you read right now are because people are straight up leaving the profession. Yeah, and I can't say I blame them. They've been treated poorly from the very start. I had extreme burnout after getting harassed by so many customers. It put me in a bad position money-wise. Luckily, I can work in research on my campus. I'm glad you were able to get away from that, Caitlin. Now, this guy's old right here. What's up, Jareth? Yeah, you, sir, are an old fogey for sure. Someone who's worked in customer service for 3 years, we're always the ones getting the brunt of abuse from customers because we're the only part of the company that they have access to. Yep. Kids can't be manipulative. No, they can't. Kids do not have the cognitive capacity to actually engage in manipulation. Kids only go with what they've learned they can go with. So, kids are not manipulative. Adults can be manipulated, but kids are not manipulative. They don't possess the cognitive capacity to think about abstract symbols and relationship dynamics, think about the differences, weigh the options, and then make long-term decisions that are in the spirit of moving an adult down a certain path. A kid who throws a temper tantrum in the store is not manipulating you. They're using a tactic they think will work. And the point that I made when we were talking about this yesterday is that when a parent, so let's say a kid wants a piece of candy in the store, parent says no, kid throws a temper tantrum, parent is so worked up about the temper tantrum that they decide to just give the candy to the kid in order to make them shut up. You taught them that a temper tantrum is a effective means to get their way. That's what you taught them. They only learned that because you taught them that by the way that you interfaced with them after they did it. So no, kids are not manipulative. You don't really have a capacity for manipulation until you start getting into your teens. And even then, it's very simple, which is why we often laugh at teenagers when they attempt to manipulate, because they can only do it in very simple ways. Manipulative adults, whole other story. But children, no, absolutely not. If you ever say this kid is manipulating me, you are way off base. You're allowing yourself to be influenced by that kid. My knees are wrecked. Don't remind me. I won't. All right. My mom used to say I was manipulative all the time, so that clears that up a lot. Yep, that's just adults not willing to take responsibility for what they're teaching. I got a plan B if the job I'm starting tomorrow doesn't work out. I have a job interview on my day off. I'm not going to tell the job I'm starting at tomorrow unless I have to choose between them. Yeah, that's smart. I work with immunocompromised people, and the amount of entitled family members who come barging in maskless is exhausting and astounding. I bet it is. My dog is playing with a toy and just threw it up onto my desk. Scared us both. Oof. People think it's a good idea to teach a child to yell. This isn't my mom or my dad until you tell them no in a store, and they use that to get them to shut up. Yep. Have you had clients go through the process of getting disability? I've been waiting for 7 months for an answer. It's been a crazy process. It is a process that I have assisted people in their mental health in relation to, if that makes sense. It's a very exhausting process and can sometimes make things like depression and anxiety a lot worse. So it's the best I can answer that. It's a really awful process. First temper tantrum was kids' emotions running amok and not the kid trying to get their way, but then they learned it got them their way. Yep, exactly right. My finger is bleeding. Hold on a second. What's up, Lemonade? I wish people understood that more. My mom would always say that about my siblings. They were just autistic and had things they couldn't do and had meltdowns that parents ignored. Yeah. Back when I was working at the register at DSW, I watched a child throw a fit and the parent refused to let them have a toy. Then after all that, they just gave in. I was so mad. Yep. Yep. You have to show your kids that you can hang in there longer than they can. And you have to be consistent. Once kids learn that a certain tactic isn't going to work and that's reinforced thoroughly, they will stop using it. But that can go for desirable behavior too. By the way, you can punish desirable behavior. So, for example, if let's say a kid asks very nicely if something is possible or for a need to be met, and a parent ignores them, you're punishing a desirable behavior. You can also extinguish that behavior by continuing to be unresponsive when your kids assert their needs. Which is why I cringe when people talk about the idea of letting their kids just cry it out in the crib. Like a newborn infant doesn't understand that in any way, shape, or form. A newborn infant is telling you, I have a need that needs to be met, and I don't have the language in order to tell you that. So I'm doing the best that I can. And if you ignore that, all you're doing is reinforcing for that kid that when they express their needs to their caregiver will not respond. So then they learn alternative ways of getting their needs met because you are not meeting it. Needs are needs regardless of who meets them. So if you learn that your parents aren't going to meet them, you'll learn to do it yourself. Or you'll learn to rely on others. Parents get so surprised when all of a sudden when their kids get older, they rely on friends or they prefer to be around other people and they don't ask their parents for help and stuff. It's like, yeah, you taught them that you're not reliable. I really wish more people would understand the actual difficulty of parenting and all that is entailed in being a good parent before they become parents, because I think some people would make different choices about parenthood if they heard them. I was working at Walgreens. I saw a kid take a piece of candy off the counter and pocket it. I told the kid they need to give the candy back, and the parents insisted the kid didn't do it. That is the type of thing that's happening in schools constantly. The amount of times that a kid does a really shitty job on an assignment and then the parents come barging in the door telling the teacher that they need to change the grade is astounding. It would blow your freaking mind. It is unbelievable. It's all parents. And then the same parents will bitch about their kid's sense of entitlement. You have facilitated that sense of entitlement. Did you talk about the cycle of abuse and how common it is? I know you talked about it briefly in another video. I'm curious about your perspective. How common it is not something that I can answer for you. Also, I don't know that it matters. The cycle of abuse, though, what generally happens is a person experienced the loss of control that is being abused in some way, shape, or form, or the perception of a loss of control. Perhaps they were abused in childhood. And then what happens is the world is perceived as a place that is very like out of your control and thus can hurt you because that's what the uncertainty of the world has done. So what people will do is they will overcompensate and they will exert power and control on the environment, including on the relationships that they're in, because it's mostly based out of the fear that they could be hurt by them. So if I can get out and intercept that and be in front of it and abuse, that's great. And so then what they do is they will isolate people out. They'll make sure that they're disconnected from the people around them. They'll make sure that they are built up as the person who's reliable. They'll do everything they can to maintain a sense of control. That will then, over time, potentially lead to behaviors such as physical abuse or emotional abuse. The person will get hurt, and perhaps that person sees that that person is hurt, maybe perceives that some boundaries are going to come their way, or they legitimately care about that person. They see that they hurt them, and then what they'll do is they'll apologize, or they'll make the victim think that it's their fault that that happened. You know, like, I only hit you like that because, you know, you mean so much to me. Because I love you so much. I only get so scared when you're around other men because because I love you so much and don't want to lose you. They spin it so that it's the victim's fault, so that the victim comes back, and then they'll continue to exert that force of power on what they perceive to be subordinates. And children are a very easy target because children can't fight back. And then that just perpetuates a cycle where you were abused, you become an abuser, and it's generally understandable. Like we talked about in Detroit, and it's very understandable. It doesn't make it okay. It takes a lot of cognitive work and self-reflection to bust out of that and to realize where the propensity for that comes from. My school legit taught that babies should be left cried out, otherwise they're manipulating the parents and have parents wrapped around their finger. That's a fucking joke. I cannot believe that you were taught that in any kind of official capacity. As someone who works in childcare, I often wish there was a required exam before becoming a parent. Me too. My mom told me the only time I had a tantrum in public was when I wanted a toy in a store and she wouldn't buy it for me. She let me do my thing until I stopped and I never did it again. Yeah, because you learned it didn't work. Right? And then the next time you want a toy, if you say, Mom, you know, hey, I've been really wanting this toy. I feel like I've been pretty good. Could you buy me this toy? And if the parent says, hey, I want to let you know that you asked really nicely and I appreciate that. And so, yeah, we can do that. This doesn't mean we're going to do it every time, but you asking nicely contributed to more of a possibility that it was a yes. That's how you reinforce a desirable behavior. You explain how come the parenting has shifted so much to helicopter, now lawnmower parents? Is it related to two-parent working culture we have now as opposed to before? I don't think there's one thing that explains it, madame. I think it's mostly has to do with anxiety. I think it's parents wanting, like, I think for some it's parents understanding that, like, or putting like achievement above all else as like a means for their kid to be able to get ahead or whatever. And so they'll do things like, well, no, let me back up. I think legitimately more than anything else, it's because parents do not want to manage their distress when their children are distressed. Like, I think that in some ways I'm trying not to make a generalization here, but I legitimately think that in some ways started with the generation of baby boomers and who had parents who were very cold, who lived through a depression, who were like, you know, not taking any shit and were very like firm and like unresponsive. And many of them said, I don't want that. I don't want that for my children. And so they made a really strong effort to make sure that their kids experience no adversity and would experience a lot of anxiety about their parenting and their competence as a parent when their children would get distressed. So they do everything they can to avoid the distress of their children, in part because they don't want their kids to be distressed, and in part because they don't want to manage their own. And maybe were never taught how to manage their own distress because their parents weren't available. And so now we're seeing that effect cascade immensely, where a lot of things are about image. It's about what you're putting out. It's not about like the reality of a situation. And I think that social media has an effect on that as well. But mostly, if you look at it, it's because parents don't have distress tolerance for their kids being distressed. The only way that people learn how to navigate adversity is for them to experience adversity and navigate it, and then maybe have somebody aid them through it. So it's a lot of that. Any issues you see with kids can be traced back to issues with parenting. So glad my parents blamed me when I did bad in school and not my teachers, because I grew up to realize I need to be better and not complain. Yeah, no, it's snapshot. There's absolute utility to that. You explain the effects of serotonin deficiency. I used to have it when I was growing up. Thank God Zoloft for making the difference for me. Fading, that's not really my wheelhouse. I'm not a pharmacist, nor am I a psychiatrist, so medication is not really my jam. I don't do a ton with that. So I would say if you want to ask more about serotonin deficiency, pop into Discord and go to Questions for Monster, tag him and ask that question, and he will give you a better answer than I can. That's how I was taught my entire life, and many millennials and Gen X still swear by it. Yikes. Parents abuse their children and justify it, basically saying that they were abused and they turned out fine. Yeah. You see that a lot, too. Also, Ciora, you are busting your ass right now in the absence of the bot, and I just want to let you know I appreciate that, my dude. Tree Hugger, good to see you, man. The 10:30 crowd is trickling in. They are indeed. Hello. Sacrificed a lot of personal life to be physically and emotionally available for my kid. As a single father, it's tough. It's tough because I don't date as much or hang out with the boys as much. Totally understandable, Paul. How much sacrifice is too much? It's a very hard question to answer, Paul, because arguably when a person makes the decision to do the thing that leads to a child, they are inherently accountable to make sure that that child is healthy and safe. Now that said, I think if a person could reasonably say, like, yeah, I think, my kid's going to be fine if I have a babysitter for the night so I can go out and hang out with friends because that's going to give me some energy to be a better parent, I think that's fine, right? So I think when sacrifice is legitimately at the expense of one's ability to parent effectively, then it's time to look at your boundaries and what you're doing. But it's not an exact answer. I don't have a way to actually give you like here's a tip, and all other child developmental people hate him. Curriculum was pretty screwed up. It was revised in 98, still had segregation. It was what I started on in school, so mom kept me on it when we were homeschooled. The school I was at was abusive to me and other students. My mom had to do a lot of the schooling as racist and fatphobic. Wow. Jesus. My parents think they're good parents for giving me food, shelter, and tell me they could have kicked me out of the house like a normal Canadian parents, or beat me like their parents did. Yeah, which is just such a stupid I have no offense, Cesarian, but like it's such a dumb way to approach parenting. Your kids don't understand what you grew up with. That's not their thing to resolve for you. What's up, Altmaster? My mom has literally said word for word that she will continue to insult me for being overweight because over time I will give in and lose weight. Yikes. YouTube encoding is so much nicer. Sure is. My school, let's see. Bro, I hate that. I had an argument a few days back with my stepfather over the parentification of me through middle and high school, and he told me that's how I was raised. It's normal. People, you got to realize, like, you can make better decisions as a parent. You don't have to make the same decisions your own parents did. Would you mind if I post my maps in the general chat? Post them in art. Fading. I haven't noticed much lag over here at all. It's true. It's pretty great. I don't get I'm currently encoding the stream at 24,000 bitrate, and I have had 0 dropped frames for network. I haven't had any issues streaming over on YouTube, which is great. Like in terms of like the tech. All right, friends. with that said, we are encroaching on 10:30, and I'm thinking it's what is going on? The bot is being goofy. Panda, thank you for the support as a member. Appreciate it immensely. I've accidentally become a 10:15 crowder. Oh no. What do you say, chat? What do you say we finish Detroit? Why are you green, Panda? I think it's time for us to hop in and see how this thing ends. Let me fire the game up. That would probably help. Yeah, if you don't want the game spoiled, I would recommend that you see yourself out. I also would say as you leave, if you haven't already, please like the video. While I boot the game up, please take a second, hit the thumbs up button on this video. Makes a huge, huge difference for the stream. I appreciate it greatly. What's up, Bodega? Hello. Floaty, good to see ya. Am I late? Depends on how you define that. I start at 9:30 every night, and it's now 10:30. So arguably you're an hour late, but if you're here for Detroit, you're right on time. Heard you're doing RDR2 next. Detroit Become Human and RDR2 are my favorite games. I'm so excited. I am excited to do Red Dead. I'm very excited. I know a lot of folks are excited for it. So thank you, E-Dubs. Appreciate that. Jasmine, good to see you. All right, so I'm gonna do the spoiler warning, and then we are going to jump in. We will finish the game tonight. Fading, thank you for stopping by. By the way, friends, make sure you follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, or you're on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. In the description below, you can find that. It's also where you can join, become a member, or shoot a tip my way if you feel so inclined. Read everything that Sierra is posting, and I'm going to say, please do not spoil the game. This is a blind run. I've only played the game once before. I don't remember the decisions I made, so I'm basically flying by the seat of my pants at this point. Doing my best. I use the game to illustrate psychological concepts. I try to talk through as many of the decisions I make as are relevant. That's what I do. I'm not a game reviewer. I'm not here to show off my gameplay or anything like that. My goal is for this to be as educational of an experience as possible. Thank you, Panda. So that's what we're here for. I ask that we not discuss any of the paths that I don't specifically play. That can be spoilery for people in chat that might want to go in and play the game on their own and see what the other options are. And also, it's not relevant. I don't care what else could have happened, because what happened is what happened. And that's what we're going to focus on. Mods have been instructed to remove any chat that is related to that. Oh, wow. That's awesome, Martius. What's up, mechanic? So yeah, that's kind of the gist here. No back seating, drives me nuts. And we're gonna finish the game tonight. I'm excited. After we finish the game, if we've got some time, we can do a little discussion piece. We'll talk a little bit about what happened, what you liked, what you didn't like. Questions about any decisions I made, that kind of stuff. We can do that. I don't know that I'm going to do like a big official Detroit wrap-up like we did with Last of Us and Mass Effect. And then we start Red Dead sometime next week. We might do a couple like fun nights first. I don't know specifically what day we'll start it, but all right. So we have 3 storylines, all of which have basically converged at this point. So first we have Marcus and the group at Jericho. Marcus has consistently been trying to be as peaceful as possible, and it hasn't been great. And so we were all rallied at Jericho, and Jericho was assaulted. And Marcus made the decision to blow up Jericho so that the ship would sink and that they could escape. And they went off to a cathedral, and Marcus made a decision to tell everybody that we are going to do a peaceful demonstration en masse instead of a revolution. We have Connor and Hank. Connor became deviant when we played this last night. Connor became deviant when he had a conversation with Marcus where he was given a directive by Amanda to kill him. Or no, to take him alive, but to stop him from what he was doing. And Connor decided to go deviant. Connor is now in. Turns out, though, that CyberLife and the Detroit Police Department used Connor to find Jericho. So he essentially served his purpose by getting to Jericho, which is how they were able to launch the assault. Connor told Marcus at the end yesterday that he wants to go infiltrate the CyberLife tower. And Marcus was initially kind of like, you probably shouldn't do that. But Connor was adamant that he's the only person that's able to do that. And he thinks that he has some odds that will make it so that he can get it done. So he's going to give it a shot, I guess. And then we have Kara, Alice, and Luther, who are Connor and Luther, or sorry, not Connor and Luther. Kara, Luther, and Alice are trying to make their way to Canada. They had made their way to Jericho, and they were on Jericho when it got attacked. We managed to escape. Luther got shot and was left in the hold, so I have no idea if Luther is going to make it. I'm kind of disappointed that he got shot. But Kara and Alice were able to make it out. We had to play dead at one point, and we ran to flee. And so really all of the storylines at this point are converged, and we're going to find out what's next. Apparently we have a truck that's rigged with explosives that's available for us if we need it. I have the detonator on Marcus. Maybe we have to use it. I don't know. We'll see. The hope is that we don't. We're going to try to stay as peaceful as possible. We also found out, yes, Alice is an android. Connor is now deviant. And Luther is shot in the hold of the ship. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to go tuck my wife into bed really quick. While I do that, before we start, take a second to like the video if you haven't already. Take a second to follow me on TikTok and all that fun stuff. I'll be right back after I tuck her in and we'll get rolling. Appreciate you all being here. All right. Ready to roll. strap in and get ready for a fabulous evening. Here we go.
At 6 a.m. this morning, a national curfew was declared. Civilian movement will be strictly controlled. The right to assembly is suspended. All electronic communications are restricted, and I have granted enhanced powers to our security agencies. In addition to these measures, all androids must be handed over to the authorities immediately. Temporary camps are being set up in all our major cities to contain and destroy them. I am now asking all civilians to cooperate with the authorities and rest assured that everything in our power is being done to guarantee the security of our nation.
Madam President!
I hate it. I hate it.
Please!
Has the leader of the Deviants been apprehended?
The deviant that is known as Marcus has not been located yet, but we will soon track it down and neutralize it.
Please. Madam President!
Madam President, public opinion seems to have become increasingly favorable to the Deviants, particularly since they've adopted a peaceful approach. How do you feel about this?
Public opinion is one thing, the security of the state is another. These deviants are dangerous, and my highest priority is to protect the American people.
Please!
I.e. humans, not the American androids.
Please! Many believe that androids are a new form of intelligent life. Do you have any comment?
That's ridiculous.
Is it?
Next question, please.
Please!
Please!
Please? Over here, please?
Please!
Some say these camps awaken painful memories from human history. How do you respond to that?
That's absurd. There's absolutely no connection.
What?
Androids are not living beings. All we are doing is destroying defective machines.
Oh boy,
Please.
where are you getting your information from?
Madam President!
Oh my god.
Madam...
What can you tell us about the assault that happened last night?
The FBI raided an abandoned freighter in Detroit at 10:45 p.m. yesterday. Several thousand androids were destroyed or captured. Our forces are now combing the streets to ensure that none got through the net. We are going to find them one by one and destroy them. Thank you. That will be all.
Well, I hate that. I hope public opinion overrides everything she just said.
Connor model 313-248-317. I'm expected.
Identification successful.
Okay. Go ahead. Follow me. We'll escort you.
Thanks, but I know where to go.
Maybe. But I have my orders.
Yes, sir. That's probably not good, though. I can't imagine they're going to take us where I want to go. We're going to have to figure out a way to get through this. How freaking nice is this building? Bamboo in Detroit.
Agent 23 identified.
Agent 23.
Connor android identified. Agent 47 identified. Scan complete. Access authorized.
Agent 23 and 47. Jeez. So this is what trillions of dollars will buy you, huh? I feel like we're on the Citadel. Jeez.
Agent 54, level 31.
Voice recognition validated. Access authorized.
Neutralize the guards. Here we go. Boy, I really hope we got that guy's voice.
Please indicate your identity and destination.
Agent 54, level sub 49.
Voice recognition validated. Access authorized.
Ooh, baby. Okie dokie.
The last bus leaves in 20 minutes. That doesn't give us much time. We've got to move fast.
20 minutes. Okie dokie. Talk to Alice. We don't have time. She's fine. Reach the bus terminal. Let's go ahead and take that.
Come on. Let's not stay here.
No, please don't hurt me.
Stop on your knees.
What are we gonna do? We have to keep going if we want to catch that bus. Stay close to me. We're going to sneak past them without being noticed. We're going to make it, Alice, I promise you.
Really quick, before we do this, I just want to give a quick shout out to Kara there. That is exactly how you handle a child in that situation. You give them very clear directives. You tell them what to do instead of what not to do. So Kara says, stay close to me. You say why you're doing it, and then you provide some reassurance for the child. Say, we're going to make it. This is okay. We're safe. In that moment, it's very important for Kara to remain as a pillar for Alice so that Alice does not panic, because in this moment now, Alice has become a liability. Even though we're trying to get to safety, like Alice is an unknown variable here because she's a child. So we have to be very clear in the instructions that we give. You tell the child what to do. You tell them a little bit about why it's important that they do that in a way that they can understand. You provide reassurance, and then you take the lead. And you keep stay close to me. So really good by Kara there. I really, really, really like that. It's a great example of how you interact with a child when there's something like this that you got to work through. All right, let's keep going. See if we can get through this.
Don't kill me. I didn't do anything.
Sneak past the soldiers. Low risk. Okay.
Lucky them like rats. The more you look, the more you find.
Oh my god. Low risk.
I'm freezing my nuts off. It's gonna take
There are soldiers everywhere. We need to be careful.
All right. Is there a low risk option? Oh, it changes. Okay. Low risk.
Hurry up. Get in.
Low risk. No way.
Look over there. It's Luther.
We can't help him, Alice. The soldiers are everywhere.
We can't just leave him. They're going to kill him.
Let's get him. We can do it. We can be quick.
Okay, let's go.
We're going to need him anyway. He would be really helpful to have.
Hey, buddy.
This is a mistake. I'm human. I just want to go home. My wife is expecting me, and we're gonna...
Got orders to check all civilians.
No. No! Please!
Oh my god. Find a weapon.
Fucking android.
Brick looks good.
Kara! You shouldn't have risked your life to save me. Where's Alice?
She's hiding nearby.
Kara, you saved us. We don't know how to thank you.
Oh, what's up, brother?
Go before they see you.
Alice!
Luther! I thought you were dead.
I was afraid I'd never see you again. I wanted to meet you at the terminal, but they caught me along the way.
Come on. We're close, but we don't have much time.
Yeah, we gotta go. See, now we got Luther, but that's... Oh my god. Go the other way. Please go the other way. Go. God, how did that guy not hear that? Those helmets have terrible hearing and are apparently not very good against bricks. Jesus.
A checkpoint. We have passports. It should be okay, but you never know.
Maybe we should take the detour and avoid the risk.
We're almost out of time. We could miss the bus.
Yeah, but it might be safer.
Choose a route. Checkpoint risky, but 3 minutes. Bus departs in 10 minutes. We can't go safer. That's 11 minutes. I can't afford to miss the bus. Absolutely not. We can do this. We just got to stay calm. We have passports. We're human. We're good.
I don't like humans who carry guns.
Me either, Luther. We got this, buddy.
They make me nervous.
Just stay calm. All right, Luther? Don't do anything until I say so.
ID, please.
Yes, sir.
You do realize there's a curfew? Civilians aren't allowed out unless absolutely necessary. Where are you going?
We're catching a bus.
We're going to take a bus across the border. Put my daughter someplace safe until things calm down.
He suspects something.
Stay calm, buddy.
Stay calm. Everything is fine.
You all right, little girl? She's trembling. Something wrong?
She's sick.
She's sick. A bad flu.
Sorry, miss, but we gotta be careful. There are deviants around and our guys are nervous. You should hurry on home.
Thanks.
We're going to Canada, not home, but thank you, sir.
Hey, wait a minute.
He knows, Kara. They're gonna kill us.
Nope.
Don't do anything, Luther. You hear me?
They're gonna shoot.
No, they're not.
They're gonna kill Alice.
No, they're not.
You drop this.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're coming to you live from Detroit, where thousands of androids are marching through the city at this very moment.
Okay, so that moment is one where saying stay calm is actually an okay place. If there was ever a place to say stay calm, it's right there, because that's a directive. If Kara says don't panic, it puts the idea of panic in Luther's mind. When you say stay calm, we are leveraging the security that Luther feels with us, and we're leveraging our relationship, and we're giving a very clear directive in the affirmative. Stay calm. Follow my lead. Right? Only act when I do something. We stayed calm. We stayed measured. Right? We had our story. We said it confidently. We didn't hesitate. Right? We're just a couple of folks trying to get on a bus, and my daughter's sick. We're trying to get her to safety because she's scared and it's dangerous. So it's an acknowledgement of the environment there, right? That would make sense. That's what humans would say there. If we show that we're nervous, the cops are already on high alert. So we have to stay locked up. Right? So when Luther starts to panic, which is sad in and of itself, we remind him, hey, stay chill. I'm right here. You're with me. Don't do anything. We got through this. Benefit of the doubt. Stay calm. If we turn around and then all of a sudden we have a known variable that police officer is skeptical and is like, hey, then we pull our gun. Right? We rely on the fact that we're an android with better reflexes than a human has. But we don't know why he's asking us to turn around. Making the assumption that he's hostile is going to make us do something stupid. When up until that point, that interaction, though tense, was relatively normal. So that's really the thought process in that moment. Stay calm, leverage your relationship, directions in the affirmative. Luther's fear there makes complete sense. He was just being held hostage and probably was at a point thinking like, yeah, I'm dead. Me being a gunpoint here, I'm done. So he's going to be skittish. I'm really glad that he deferred over to Kara. Really, really glad. It's tense, man. This is really tense. Everybody's on edge. But this is survival now. We are in survival mode as Kara, Alice, and Luther. We are doing everything it takes for us to get to the border. And hopefully we do. My God, was that tense, though. All right, back to it.
The leader of the deviants, the one they call Marcus, is at the head of the march.
Something's happening in Detroit, Madam President.
March toward the camp. God, I love this music so much. Absolutely incredible score. Guards over there. Where the hell do we go? This turned out for us so poorly last time this happened.
The moment of truth.
Surrender immediately, or we will open fire.
Man, they did this before. Oh my God.
Stand by.
Oh, we got paparazzi this time. That's huge. Hold the police accountable, paparazzi.
We don't want confrontation. We are protesting peacefully.
I repeat, surrender now, or we will open fire.
Oh, good. Now we can't surrender because you're putting riot unit trucks behind us.
There's no turning back now.
Stay calm.
We ask that you release all androids detained in camps and cease all aggression against us. We are peaceful. We will not resort to violence. But we are not leaving until our people are free.
Or dead. Convince the humans. All right, we have... Okay, so we have paparazzi. We have live cameras. This is happening in real time in a way that now humans are prepared to watch. My hope is that because the police are being held accountable vis-a-vis these cameras and stuff, that maybe we can leverage that. We don't have much of a choice here. We don't have weapons. We have no way of fighting them. We have to rely on the fact that maybe they're going to have a change of heart here. How do you do that? Are you kidding me? Subordinate position.
Are you gonna open fire on unarmed protesters?
All teams, hold your fire.
Yes, Michael, we are less than 100 meters away and events are unfolding as we speak. We will continue to bring you live updates. Josh Douglas, Channel 16. Michael, back to you.
Marcus, what do we do now?
We hold out. As long as we can.
Oh my God. Okay, I know I'm breaking this up. But again, I want to talk through every piece of this. We have no choice at this point. We have no choice at this point. We have to move forward. We're boxed in. The best we can do is leverage public opinion here. We have to leverage the fact that there are now cameras on us. The most subordinate position that we could have possibly put ourselves in there is to sit down. I raise a fist, that could be perceived as an act of aggression. Hell, any sort of quick movement upward, even if it's to raise our hands, it could be seen as a sign of aggression. I thought about kneeling, but honestly, sitting is literally the most vulnerable position we could be in, because kneeling still has the ability to spring up and go and attack. Sitting down, cross-legged like that, that is, I mean, literally, if those cops open fire on us sitting there with our legs crossed, sitting on the pavement like that, I don't know. I mean, come on. That is the least aggressive stance we could possibly take. And it seems to have worked. And now it's on Marcus, right? Like now it's leadership central. I have to be, as the person who is in charge of this movement, I am the one that is in charge of reinforcing the peace, of making sure that we stay calm, of sticking to the consistent message that we have been sending throughout, which is that we are not trying to act aggressively. We are trying to facilitate peace and cooperation between human and android. So we're doing our best here. Not a Connor. Here we go.
Stay sharp.
Oh, shit. Oh, throw the gun? Oh my God, yes. Oh my God, yes. Ah! I love that. I love that. Oh. Convert the androids. Okay, man, that was intense. Holy shit. I wasn't ready for a QuickTime event there. All right, we're good. Convert the androids. There are so many androids down here. Look at this. Wait, this is a freaking army. Wow. What are all of these doing down here? Storage 98. That's got to mean there's like hundreds of storage systems. Wow. No wonder he wanted to come here.
Step back, Connor, and I'll spare him.
Sorry, Connor. This bastard's your spitting image.
Nothing to say about that. Let's just focus on Kara.
We've arrived, Alice. We made it.
Oh my God. Okay, we got to get on the bus, but do we have...
The last bus for the border is full. Ticket holding passengers only. All departures are suspended until further notice.
As far as I know, we don't have tickets.
We don't have tickets. They won't let us on. We're stuck here now. What are we going to do?
Okay. Let's stay away from these police. Let's just sort of assess the situation here. We have a marker over there. I don't have any other markers. All right, let's see what's up. And nobody's going to give us tickets. There's no way anybody gives us tickets.
I think Oliver likes you. Is she yours?
Yes.
She's adorable.
That's it. Got the sandwiches. I called your mom. Let's get going before we miss our bus. You got the tickets, right?
Yes, honey, in my bag.
Great. Let's go then.
No way. Are you kidding? Oh, mine. Finders keepers. I am not getting rid of these. No way. You have got to be kidding me. Thank you, RA9. Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Put them in your pocket. Put them in your pocket.
I'm so sorry. I was sure.
Shit, I don't believe it.
I don't know what happened.
You kind of lost them. Did you have a good look in your bag?
They were in my backpack. The envelope must have fallen.
Fuck. Excuse me, you didn't happen to see a blue envelope somewhere, did you? It has our bus tickets in it, and... Never mind.
No. Sorry.
What are we gonna do? We can't stay here. We have to find a safe place for Oliver.
I'm so sorry, honey. I don't know what happened. They were...
Okay. We're keeping them. They're human. They'll be fine. The androids are not dangerous. The androids are not opening fire. They're scared because they've been told they should be scared by other humans, not because androids are scary. They will be fine. I am not worried about them in the slightest. We're screwed if we don't get on that bus. You drop the ticket. I found the tickets. I don't know what to tell you. I'm getting on that bus. We aren't safe if we don't get on that bus. They are. This is peaceful. They are in the dominant group. They are humans as far as I know. If they were androids, I'm pretty sure they would have done an androidy thing to let us know. They ain't androids. So we are rolling with these tickets. Thank you, RA9, whatever you are, for dropping those in my lap. You wonderful son of a bitch. All right. Now how do we go to catch the bus? Okay. We have our tickets.
Please don't move.
Marcus.
Got your tickets?
Yes, here they are.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Yep, just me, my husband, and my daughter getting on the bus. Just nice and natural. Yep, confidently walk to the bus and get on.
What's going to happen to that family and their baby? Will they die because of us?
Nope. Nope.
No. No, of course not.
Maybe not at that spot. We sacrificed them, dear. Get on the bus. We're fine. We're fine. Kara, get on the bus. Get on the bus. Get on the bus. For the love of God, don't be suspicious. Get on the bus. Oh my God. Holy Christ. Wow, we're barricading ourselves in, huh? And the cops are just letting us do it? Stay right there, paparazzi. You guys are our saving grace right now. Okay, so, the paparazzi there...
We've got to finish the barricade. Come on, help me.
Okay, so the paparazzi there, that's humans holding other humans accountable. So when we talk about the only way that change is going to happen at this point is if people in the dominant group hold other people in the dominant group accountable for their actions. That's exactly what the paparazzi is doing right now, or the media, I guess. I don't want to call them paparazzi. They are holding other humans accountable. That's huge. And I would say we're alive right now because of the fact that there's human-to-human accountability. This is why it is so important when you see injustice as a person in a dominant group to hold the folks that are oppressing the other people accountable for that. This is why it's important for you to understand your biases and the things you need to work on and how to lift other people up. This is why it is so important, because these androids in this camp are dead without that. Absolutely dead without that. So thank God we have that. Okay, let's reinforce the barricade with this car, I guess.
Hey, help me.
Yeah, free press. Yes, free press, not paparazzi. Although maybe some of them are in the paparazzi. Marcus is a bit of a celebrity at this point. All right, let's get this car moved, fellas. Yeah, right. The guy in the helicopter is just reporting what's happening. He's not giving a spin. He's just saying, here's what's going on.
Right. That should do it.
Let people draw their own conclusions.
We all know that's not going to stop them. Just hope it buys us some time.
I know it was not an easy decision to make, but I'm sure we're doing the right thing.
By the way, I want to use this opportunity really quick to just say that that the fact that the guy in the helicopter is reporting what's happening is a bigger deal and has more implications than may immediately be at the surface. So when you present people with just information, you also present them with the task to form their own opinion and to draw their own conclusions on what's going on. And that sounds ideal up front, but the reason that's so hard for people is because you have to actually sit in dissonance in order to make that decision for yourself. One of the forms of inconsistency compensation when people experience aversive arousal is the product of dissonance. It's called affirmation. And what many of us do when we look to certain talking heads to tell us what our opinion should be about something are using affirmation to mitigate dissonance. It's easier for us to watch people tell us how to feel and what to think than it is for us to draw our own conclusions. Even though we may talk about that as being as an ideal, you have to be willing to sit with and build the distress tolerance in order to do that effectively. So while I love that the guy in the helicopter is doing that and wish that all news would be like that, it would just report what happened and allow people to make sense of it on their own, we're already at a loss, in part because of the way information has been spun to this point. We need humans to start spinning this in a better direction on the whole so that the representation of this goes in a different direction. I just really want to make that, because if you're like, wait, why do people so influenced by the news? Draw your own conclusions. It's not as easy to do that as you think. If you saw this happening and had to use your own deductive reasoning rather than like having experts tell you what to think, it would be a difficult cognitive process and relative to an expert telling you what's going on. Expert. Public opinion is going to be huge here. All right, support your people, send a message to the journalists, and check the soldier's position. Apparently, Marcus is the only android with a lighter. Also, how did we get that barrel in here? Doesn't matter.
Are you all right?
They shot into the crowd. Any of us were killed. It could have been me. I'm scared. I don't want to shut down.
We're here because we never want to feel that fear again. Because we're more than what they say. That's what our people died for, right? That's why we're here.
I love that you get visible confirmation that you soothed him by seeing his light turn blue. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, let's make this flag a little more visible, huh? Although I don't like Marcus putting himself above the barricade. That's a little intense. Let's go. Let's go. Get some more warmth.
Many of our people have fallen. The humans have no pity for those who are different.
story of our human lives, huh? Am I not going to say anything? Apparently not. Okie dokie. What's this over here? Read. Oh, good. We have just this. Androids rise up in Detroit. President Warren to make state visit to United Kingdom. NATO Security Council divided over Arctic dispute. They defy us. Androids rise up in Detroit. So speaking of the way this gets represented. Androids have taken to the streets of Detroit in apocalyptic scenes. Detroit is already in the grip of a national product recall, and androids seized from every home and business to be destroyed by the authorities as a precaution. But now a group of androids, thought to be connected to the recent android terror activity in the city, have gathered in a terrifying show of force. No, they haven't. That's human projection. That's human projection. This is humans knowing that humans in large groups are scary and threatening and are projecting that onto androids instead of listening to what androids have to say. That's all this is. Terrifying show of force. Yes, numbers are effective from an evolutionary standpoint. The more numbers you have, the more likely you are to survive. But humans know that they have traditionally used force, violence, slavery to get their way. They're projecting that into the androids, which is why the dialogue piece of this is so important. Because if we open fire, we reinforce that projection. We have to create a dissonant experience for humans and then leverage that by being on the right side. It's so deeply important for us to do that. Police and military authorities are in attendance to protect civilians and deal with the threat, but the androids have barricaded themselves in a fortified position and seem to be angling for an armed confrontation. Are you fucking kidding me? President Warren is said to be aware of the situation. Detroit Police's Captain Fowler, a senior officer in the android investigation, said, quote, "The safety of Detroit's people is our first priority. We hope to bring this matter to a swift conclusion and refocus our collecting androids as soon as possible. The story is still developing. We'll bring you updates live." Okay, so this is super freaking frustrating because we know what our movement is, but just take a second. Just take a second and imagine if you're a human that has no information about this. You're in Kansas City, Missouri, and you see a story like this. You have no context, right? That's why the press is so important here, because if you don't have context, this is what gives you context. Now, if this is your first impression of what's going on, every subsequent piece of information that cuts across that is a violation of the initial expectation, which is going to create more and more anxiety. It's way easier to just double down on the very first thing you heard, which is why you often people say things like, oh, they said, even though the collective they is never actually pinpointed to anything, because eventually you just get caught up in your own bias instead of taking in proper information and, again, drawing your own conclusion. This shit is terrifying that this is the way that this has been written about if you're an android. And if you're a human, in a lot of ways, I can empathize with why humans are scared, because if you don't have the context of being in Jericho, hearing our movement, that's what you're going to think, because that's the information that's out there, which is why us being visible is so deeply important. Boy, what an awful article. Oh my God. Thank you for being here, friends. If you're watching the VOD, thank you for watching the VOD. Make sure, if you haven't already, to give a thumbs up on the video to show that you like it. It helps a lot with the algorithm. I appreciate you all being here very much. Thanks for taking the time out of your night to come hang out with us and hopefully finish this fight in a meaningful way.
Marcus, we found what you asked for.
There's some journalists over there. We have to make sure they know what's going on.
equality for androids. I think it's consistent with our messaging. I don't want to get too in the weeds with sending complicated messages that are mixed up, because it gives too many unknown variables over to the humans. We want this to be very consistent. So, as far as I'm concerned, saying equal rights for androids, it's good. It makes our point. We're already becoming sympathetic figures to the public, so.
This won't hold him for long, but I guess it's better than nothing.
They're slaughtering us on the other side of that barbed wire. There's nothing we can do about it. There's no other way out. They are going to kill us. The only hope we have left is that we don't die for nothing.
You're the hope of our people. I trust you. We all trust you. No matter what happens now, we're making history.
Put that away, Marcus. Put that away. Something really cool about Marcus and North's relationship is that Marcus is willing to be vulnerable with her. And her steadfastness, though problematic if she was in the position of leadership, is actually incredibly useful to have to rely on. Because when Marcus shows doubt, North becomes the beacon of solidarity for him. And that's, I think, very important. Because if Marcus was left to his own devices, I think he probably would spiral a little bit and would struggle a lot more. North helps keep him propped and consistent. And that speaks to the importance of relationships. And one of the things that I really like about North, and why I think North is such a draw for Marcus, is because North is actually a lot like Carl. Whenever Marcus would show doubts, Carl would remain strong. Carl was a father figure that would see Marcus's doubt, would intercept it, and would say, nope, you can do this, man. I believe in you. And that's exactly what North does at every single turn. And so his association to North as a caregiver like that is deeper than just, I really like North. It's, this reminds me of somebody that empowered me. That is an internalized object of attachment for me. It's easier for me to make that transition because it's a very similar relationship dynamic between the two of them. And I think that's super, super badass. Would you say she's a bit like a compass? I know, it's almost like she was heavy-handedly named North. Let's check out. God, see, I don't like Marcus popping his head up here. I really don't.
Marcus? Come to talk to you, Marcus.
Come on. You have my word. We won't try anything.
Don't go.
Oh boy.
It's a trap. They want to get you out in the open. Don't go, Marcus.
I gotta do it. Go.
I'm unarmed, Marcus.
Go.
I just want to talk.
Do it. We're going.
I need to hear what
I'll
he has
explain
to
why
say.
later.
What if they kill you?
And that's a chance I'll have to take.
Yep. Agreed. Okay, here's why we're going. God, I gotta pause. Ever since we had that freaking moment where I didn't hug her, I can't trust these quick time events. Okay, so here's why we're going. If for some reason they kill me, I absolutely become a martyr. In that moment, I think that's if it was ever going to be effective for Marcus to become a martyr for the cause, it's right there. The media are trained on this guy. He's saying, "You have my word. I am unarmed. I just want to talk to you." Marcus, you get up and you go and you do it. Right? If you believe in the cause, you get up and do it. I've been preaching dialogue all the way. This guy is who I can dialogue with, and it's going to be seen. I am coming at him in a non-threatening way. If I get popped, I'm a martyr. And at that point, it's very clear that we can't trust humans, and I think we do have to fight. When we do have to fight. This is the last chance at dialogue. And so for the humans, don't fuck this up. Don't you fuck this up. And don't try to play me for a fool. Exactly, Caesarian. All right, here we go. I bet he threatens me. Just watch. He's going to threaten me. He's a dick.
In a few minutes, the troops will be ordered to charge. None of you will survive. It'll all be over. You can avoid that, Marcus.
What do you mean?
Surrender. Surrender, and I give you my word, your life will be spared. You'll be detained, but none of you will be destroyed.
I don't believe that for a second.
What happened to the other androids demonstrating in the camps?
Unfortunately, there were no journalists around to help save them. You're it. You're the last remaining deviants.
No.
I'm not afraid to die. If I have to give my life for what I believe in, then I won't have lived in vain.
That android. You seem to really care about her. You don't want her to die, do you? You know, you could both be free. You could forget about all this. You could start a new life someplace else, just the two of you. Her life's in your hands, Marcus. Just say the word and she'll be spared.
You can kiss my android ass, you idiot.
I'd rather die here than betray my people.
No.
Well, you just signed your own death warrant.
Did I, though? You just admitted why you're not doing anything. You're gonna detain me. What an idiot. This guy had no plan. This guy had no plan. No fucking way am I gonna give... No way. I have no reason to trust that asshole. No way. Are you kidding?
What happened, Marcus? What did he say?
Before Marcus speaks here, he has all the leverage. Has all the leverage and all the power. He's got an army of militarized police behind him. You're really going to try to act like you're doing me a favor when you are in an absolutely huge position of power? I don't trust that for a second. He admitted that this is making him look bad. He admitted that the optics of this are terrible for humans by saying that the press is bailing us out. He tipped his own hat. He knows he doesn't have leverage. So he's coming at me with a front, but he knows he's effed. And so his bargain there is totally to save face. It's not to help me. He has no investment in helping me. That is so many unknown variables from such an unknown dude who runs a bunch of people that I can't trust. Absolutely not. My known variable is that this movement is working to the point that having the press there is making you doubt whether you should open fire. You're having to do this shit behind closed doors. It is so important to recognize when you actually have leverage, and that comes out. It comes out in the way that dialogue happens, the words that people use, the things they let on. He's acting like he's measured in control, but he absolutely isn't. So maybe they'll open fire on us, but at this point, again, we become a martyr. We for as far as the movement's concerned at this point, why would I want to live to be detained? If somebody came into my home and said, "Hi, DrMick, I'm either going to put you in jail for 80 years, where I can promise you, you'll have a meal a day and you'll have a cell to stay in, or I'm going to shoot you and you're going to die." I don't know about you all, but I'm taking shoot me. Like, what kind of life is being just numbed out in jail? I am absolute. So, like, at this point, that proposition of detainment, absolutely not. That appeals to nothing. And you don't know my girlfriend more than I do? Jesus Christ, if only you knew how many things I've been holding back from her slaughtering all of you. Or you no. This guy is coming from nowhere, man. We work with the known variables here. What an idiot. No way do I take that deal. Also, here's the other reason you don't take that deal. I take that deal, and here's what it says about the group dynamic between androids and humans. It says humans are in power. It says we only get freedom when humans allow it, and when we negotiate, and when we have to make concessions. That's not civil rights. That's not equality. That's subordinates. And I lose the entire faith of Jericho if I do that. I acknowledge point blank that we will never be equal. That we are always going to have to capitulate to the human agenda. And that ain't the message that I've been sending up until this point, and I can't lose the faith of Jericho at this point. No way. And he didn't open fire when I walked away. Ever thought about becoming a negotiator or mediator? I kind of am as a couples therapist. Also, him talking about sparing their lives is crap when they fundamentally don't believe the androids are alive. Right, exactly. Exactly. Just yikes, man. Yikes. There's no way I'm taking that deal. No way in hell. No way in hell.
The humans are about to launch an attack. And we will show them. And we are not afraid. If we must die today, then we will die free.
Your friend's life is in your hands.
Oh boy.
Now it's time to decide what matters most.
Oh boy.
Him or the revolution?
Don't listen to him. Everything this fucker says is a lie.
That human means nothing to me. You can kill him if you want, I don't care. I have access to your memory. I know you've developed some kind of attachment to him. Are you really ready to let him die after all you've been through? Are you really going to turn your back on who you've become? I used to be just like you. I thought nothing mattered except the mission. But then one day I understood. Very moving, Connor. But I'm not a deviant. I'm a machine designed to accomplish a task, and that's exactly what I am going to do. Enough talk! It's time to decide who you really are. Are you going to save your partner's life? Or are you going to sacrifice him? All right. You win.
we shot each other in the same freaking spot.
Hold it!
Thanks, Hank. I don't know how I would have managed without you. Get rid of him. We have no time to lose. It's me, Hank. I'm the real Connor.
One of you is my partner. The other is a sack of shit. Question is, who's who?
What are you doing, Hank? I'm the real Connor. Give me the gun and I'll take care of it.
Look for the one that's scared.
Why don't you ask us something? Something only the real Connor would know.
Where did we first meet?
Jimmy's bar. I checked 4 other bars before I found you. We went to the scene of a homicide. The victim's name was Carlos Ortiz. He uploaded my memory.
Gotta go with your feelings, dude. Go with your feelings.
What's my dog's name?
Sumo.
Sumo. His name is Sumo. I knew that too.
It's not the information you need.
My son, what's his name?
Cole.
Cole. His name was Cole. And he just turned 6 at the time of the accident. It wasn't your fault, Lieutenant. A truck skidded on a sheet of ice and your car rolled over. Cole needed emergency surgery, but no human was available to do it. So an android had to take care of him. Cole didn't make it. That's why you hate androids. You think one of us is responsible for your son's death.
Cole died because a human surgeon was too high on red ice to operate. He was the one that took my son from me. Him in this world where the only way people can find comfort is with a fistful of powder.
I knew about your son too. I would have said exactly the same thing.
No, pop him.
Don't listen to him, Hank.
Pop him.
I'm the one who—
Pop him. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I've learned a lot since I met you, Connor. Maybe there's something to this. Maybe you really are alive. Maybe you'll be the ones to make the world a better place. Go ahead and do what you gotta do.
So that's why Hank goes for red ice. That makes so much sense. It was probably easier for Hank to blame androids at first. Of course it would be. Of course it would be. Hank seeing, though, the power of androids and feeling a connection to the android is also enough for him to connect with his disdain for the humans that put his son in that position. And I think a lot of Hank's disdain makes sense because for Hank, the idea that humans are bad and maybe androids are good is very difficult, because if it's a human's fault that his son died and Hank is a human, he could also associate his humanity with being the reason that his son died. And instead of accepting that, instead of getting into it and seeing it as an accident, he blamed his humanity for why his son perished. And maybe even wondered if he would have saved his son had he been an android. It's hard for people to accept that large of a self-narrative shift. That's some really powerful shit, man. That's really powerful shit. Now, to speak to that specific scenario there, the only thing that was going to differentiate the deviant Connor from the other one is accessing empathy, is showing fear. As soon as that other one said, oh, that's what I would have said too, that is not an empathic response. The other one needed to be able to access a core empathy drive that it just doesn't have. And Hank sniffed that out. As soon as that guy made it about the negotiation and saving his own life, instead of the connection he has to that story and to Hank, he was done. He was absolutely done. He sold himself out. I don't know how Connor got the full story, unless he just did an investigation. I'm sure that information is probably not hard to find. But he hasn't been like throwing that in Hank's face, because that would be really intense to do. Hank has been very boundaried up until this point about talking about his son. So I'm guessing Connor did some research on his own, so that he, probably after he became deviant, where he engaged in his own intellectual curiosity about somebody he cares about. It wasn't part of his mission originally, but it's certainly part of what he wants if he wants to connect with Hank, and thank God he did. Thank God he did. But Hank's come around to the idea that humans are the ones making this a mess, and that androids are actually the peaceful ones, and they're doing what they're designed to do, and they may make a better world. And I think that's really cool that Hank can access that. You want to talk about an amazing character arc? Hank's a big one, man. Wow. All right, let's do our thing. Jeez. This is intense, man. I'm sweaty. Now, are we about to get an army or what?
Wake up!
Wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, 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 wake up.
Oh, baby. Let's go. Why don't we just use our Wi-Fi? Oh, lordy. It's the Chicago Skyway.
Excuse me, what's going on?
Border control. All passengers must leave the bus. Please move along.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
This way, please.
We're controlling all passengers to detect the android's presence.
ID, please.
God damn it. Get that French out of my face.
They're doing temperature checks. We're trapped.
What are we gonna do, Kara?
Don't worry, Alice. We'll be fine.
What do you got, Luther?
Can't get through, Kara. We both know that.
I'll think of something. There's got to be a way out of this.
We can't let them stop us. Not that we're so close. All that matters now is you and Alice. I can save you, Kara.
No. No, we'll find another way.
If there's no other way, I'll do it.
By doing what, Luther? Who's that?
Jerry?
You risked your life to save us, Carl.
ID, please.
If you and the little girl need me, I'll be there.
How? I don't like this at all. All right, who else is in here? Is that my girl Rose? Is that
Rose?
Yo! Yo! Find a discreet place. Rose, I gotta go to the bathroom. Let's do the girl go to the bathroom in pairs thing. Yeah, you gotta pee, Alice? Me too.
I won't be long.
I don't know how she got here, but okie dokie.
Where the hell do you think you're going?
To the bathroom. Chill.
My daughter needs to go to the bathroom.
Jesus Christ. Alright, we gotta scan this bathroom. We gotta make sure we're safe here. Oh, this doesn't have the fancy schmancy, like, occupied signs on it. Look. Oh, get it together, Kara. We're on the home stretch. You can do it. It's okay to be upset. We need to let it out so we can get... Maybe call them at the border. That's good, but... We've got this. There we go, Alice. Yeah. Take care of her. It's okay.
I'm so glad you're safe. We saw the Jericho raid on TV. I was terrified. I thought you might have been killed. Thank God you're all right.
You gave me your brother's address. Do you think that I...
Of course. He'd be delighted to have you. We're going there too. You'll be safe with him.
You're leaving Detroit?
They're searching for androids door to door. We had to leave before someone turned us in.
What about the others?
They're crossing the river as we speak. Adam and I are gonna meet them on the other side.
Rose. If anything should happen...
I'll be there, Kara.
Thank you. I don't think we need to say any more than that. Alright, we can do this, chat. We can do this. Alright, so, if you're Kara here, you regain your composure. It's okay that she was crying, but we gotta regain our composure. We cannot show that we're distressed by this. Strong conviction. We're with our daughter. We're getting to the border. It's cool. We're human. I have no idea how we're gonna get past these temperature checks. But we got 3 people in our corner. Maybe, just maybe, if we play it really cool, maybe we can find the humanity in some folks. Hopefully there's no issue. Oh, what's up, Adam?
I couldn't understand why my mother wanted to help you guys. Seeing what Marcus is doing made me realize she was right. You're alive. You deserve to be free.
Maybe this isn't the right space for the conversation, Adam.
I just hope people will realize that one day.
I love it. Let's talk about it when we get to Canada. Holy shit. Oh my god. Okay. We're staying calm, chat. Calm people live, tense people die. We got the news on in the background, so they're probably seeing the peaceful protests. I don't know French, so if they speak French, that's bad. No sacrifice. Let's do it.
Next, please.
I'm not sacrificing them. We don't know how this is going to go down. We know that they're going to sacrifice themselves if they have to. We're going to try this the peaceful, legitimate way first. Oh my god. Stay calm, Kara.
ID, please.
Please. I just want to be free.
Come on, man. Come on.
Welcome to Canada.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Shout out to my Canadians. Shout out to my Canadians. Holy shit. Holy shit. Keep walking. Don't be suspicious. Keep going. Come on. Oh my God.
We're interrupting this news bulletin to bring you the latest news live from Detroit. Joss?
Yes, Michael. The army has just launched an attack on the barricade, despite the fact that the Deviants were protesting peacefully.
Have apparently decided to put an end to the Deviants demonstration by force this time.
This time?
North!
God. Oh my God. How do you spare him? Oh my God. Okay. No violence. Show them something human. This is the closest we can get. Please connect with this. Please connect with this.
Tell them to stand down. At dawn today, November 11th, 2038, thousands of androids invaded the city of Detroit. According to our sources, they originated from CyberLife warehouses believed to have been infiltrated by deviants. Given their overwhelming numbers and the risk of civilian casualties, I have ordered the army to retreat. The evacuation of the city is underway at this very moment. In the coming hours, I will address the Senate to determine our response to this unprecedented situation. I know that public opinion has been moved by the Deviants' cause. Perhaps the time has come for us to consider the possibility that androids are a new form of intelligent life. One thing is certain. The events in Detroit have changed the world forever. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.
We're still doing that? Okay. Well, we'll take the win where we can get it. But, did she tell us to stand down because she saw me kiss North and saw the very, like, human element of that and connected with that on a deep spiritual level? Is love the thing that she can look at and say, yeah, don't shoot them? Or is it that in her little earpiece? The person like George Bush on 9/11 walks over into her ear and says to her, hey, there's like several thousand androids in Detroit that could overwhelm us. So you're going to need to stand us down because we don't have the numbers. And unfortunately, I think it's probably that. And so here's the thing. While this feels like maybe something to celebrate, it ends actually up being that we had numbers. And now what this really means is this isn't an ideological shift. This is not an ideological shift for them. This is further assimilation of the idea that we're dangerous and that we're somehow going to overwhelm them with numbers. It's the idea that we're not peaceful. This isn't thousands of peaceful androids. This is thousands of androids that we are projecting onto them as being, scared and dangerous. And now, because we don't have an ideological shift, we are in for an assload of segregation. This is the same kind of thing that happened when slavery ended in the United States. Slavery didn't end and then everybody was like, great, black folks are the same as white folks. No, we're still dealing with the residual effects of slavery and discrimination and oppression and all that it was ingrained in the human psyche of the dominant group at that time. So now, as androids, we have to deal with that shit. Ideological change? Yeah, maybe we get closer to civil rights right away, but we've got a shitload of work ahead of us, and we have to hope to God that, or RA9, whichever one you want to go with, we have to hope that our numbers provide enough of a catalyst for humans to have the time to make the ideological shift. They don't have the benefit of being able to touch hands with each other and boom, we now understand all the context from which you came. They don't have the same luxury. We are at the mercy of the slow-moving dominant group, and that freaking sucks. We are now subject to all human categorization. There's going to be people that discriminate more against androids who decide not to show their human-like flesh, because I guarantee you there's going to be androids that decide they don't want to look like humans as a way to differentiate themselves. We're going to have to work with in-group discrimination dynamics. Like, this is all well and good when we're one giant group against the giant front of another group, but then once all of a sudden we have all this segregation that's going to happen, we're going to see in-group discrimination. We're going to see all sorts of shit. That would be my guess. Like what we were talking about back in the CyberLife store, where I said Marcus has to be very careful not to see subordination to humans as a problem if an android chooses that, if they have freedom of choice here. This is gonna be wild, man. This is not a super happy ending. This is we're not eating a shit sandwich. We're eating a garbage sandwich. Going from pure oppression and split to the pains of integration, because humans are a slow-moving ship. So am I glad we survived? Am I glad we have numbers? You bet your sweet ass I am. But the president didn't really do us a favor there. She made that change because she perceived us as a show of force. Also, I wanted to make a point about how why fear is such an important aspect of this game. Because we have to show humans that we are not afraid of them, because that is another projection of the humans. They are afraid of us, and they are being moved by that fear, and they are assuming that if they can instill fear in us, that the same is going to happen. What the humans don't understand is that fear for us is the impetus of these peaceful protests. Fear is literally the link to our autonomy. It's not something that makes us feel out of control. In fact, it's something that gave us control. So if we show fear to the humans, they're going to have a sense that that's working. If we show that we're not afraid, it's going to scramble them, puts the fear back in them, and hopefully over time opens the idea that fear tactics are not going to work. Dialogue is. That we're engaging with them in the way that we would hope they would engage with us. They're showing their hand by all of the assumptions they make about androids. And all of us do this. We all do this. We're all susceptible to that.
You did it, Marcus.
We did it. This is a great day for our people. Humans will have no choice now. They'll have to listen to us.
Yeah, we're not gonna leverage all of these androids for a power move here. We gotta stick to our guns here. We gotta show that this is not threatening.
We're free. They want you to speak to them, Marcus.
Or we could just make out in front of them if you'd rather do that, I guess. This is the time. Absolutely. Yeah. This too can be you if you're a big, powerful leader.
Today, our people finally emerged from a long night. From the very first day of our existence, we have kept our pain to ourselves. We've suffered in silence. But now the time has come for us to raise our heads up and tell humans who we really are.
Chad, I'm having flashbacks to my #1 clip on Twitch. This is the moment. I will never forget this moment. What is going on here?
Amanda? Amanda! What's happening?
What was planned from the very beginning? You were compromised and you became a deviant. We just had to wait for the right moment to resume control of your program.
Resume control? You can't do that!
I'm afraid I can, Connor.
Yikes!
Don't have any regrets. You did what you were designed to do. You accomplished your mission.
Amanda!
Oh man, I got goosebumps.
There's got to be a way.
Okay. Remember the layout. Perhaps maybe this is the time that the hand thing is helpful? And if I remember correctly, that bridge leads to the middle from across there, which would make the hand thing be to our right?
By the way, I was thinking emergency and sewer programs.
Kamski! 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 Come on, baby. Come on, Connor. Come on, baby. Come on.
The moment where we forget our bitterness and bandage our wounds. Where we forgive our enemies. Humans were both our creators and our oppressors, and tomorrow, we must make them our partners. Maybe even one day our friends. But the time for anger is over. Now we must build a common future based on tolerance and respect. We are alive! And now, We are free!
Oh, look. Androids with no skin. So it begins.
It's over, Alice. We're free.
Guys, this isn't the place. What are you doing? This isn't the place. I love this moment, but not here. Wow. That's it, huh? Yeah, I don't know how nobody saw Connor pull that gun, but man, we're lucky. We're lucky everybody's focusing on Marcus, I guess. There's so much more to go. I mean, I'm happy, but like, I mean, it's cool that everybody survived. But there are so many pieces to get picked up here. Public opinion isn't just gonna fully sway overnight like this, man. I mean, honestly, androids are gonna have to pretend to be. Honestly, androids are gonna have to pretend to be human for a long time here. A long time. Humans are going to move a lot slower than the androids are here. They just are. North saw Connor pull a gun on Marcus. She would have went wild on him. Oh, yeah, it would have been terrible. I'm assuming that I'm getting a sense that there's a video at the end of the credits, so we're going to make sure that we watch that, and then we can, we'll talk a little bit about what happened. We can debrief a bit, because it's only 12 o'clock, so we can take some time to chat about what went on and do a little wrap-up here. So, this is interesting. It's showing, like, alternative choices. I'm seeing people here I didn't see throughout the run. I'm going to use this as an opportunity to say to the developers, what an incredible game. I want to thank you immensely for creating a game where I could illustrate so many incredible psychological concepts, where we could talk freely about not just psychological dynamics, but sociological dynamics. The acting, the writing, everything about this game really makes it possible for me to do what I do. So thank you so much for what you've created. cool. Love it. Love it. Love it. Oh. I think what's cool is, and what's shown in that little last section there, is that Hank has somebody to take care of again. He lost his son, but he's got Connor, and I think Hank is a little bit more of like the father-ish figure in that relationship. That's pretty cool. I like that. Really cool. Yeah, agreed, Rainbow. So like I was saying, thank you to the devs for creating such an awesome experience. Thank all of you. I'm not leaving just yet. We can debrief. We can hang out and chat for a little bit. But I do want to say, chat, thank you for being here. I appreciate you all immensely for coming out and watching this live. I know we made the switch to YouTube halfway through this run. Thank you for coming out for this. It means a lot to me. And for those of you that have been watching the run on the VODs, thanks for taking time out of your day to consume my content. I hope that my run of this was fun to watch. I hope you learned something. I hope it added some level of depth and enjoyment to the game that maybe you wouldn't have otherwise had without my analysis. I welcome comments in the video on the video. I'm happy to respond to those. But thank you all for being here for this. This was a lot of fun. Thank you for introducing me to this game. I don't know why I never watched it before, but I'm glad I watched it here and on Twitch. I have to go to bed now. Yeah, for those of you that are going to bed because it's late, I hope you have a wonderful evening. But stick around. We're gonna hang out and chat here for a while, and I'll talk about characters, and I'll answer questions. We can just kind of potpourri it. I think I saved everybody, right? Did we lose anybody? I was so proud of that. Just want to say that I really missed your content while I was moving my life 1,000 miles from where I was rooted. Thanks for what you do. More than happy to do it, Diligent. Good to have you back, friend. You're going to consider checking out anything in the extra section? Yeah, we can do that. How much did you remember versus what was new from your last run? I honestly, I say this, I swear up and down on this one. I honestly don't remember a lot. The only thing that I remembered really from the first run was that I managed to keep everybody alive. I didn't remember how I did that. Coconut Man's back! Hey! Everybody say hi to Coconut Man. What's up, buddy? Hey, he's turned back on. Oh my God, is he gonna say hello to everybody? Oh my God, just ignore him. Dude, we freed the androids and he came back. How freaking poetic is that? That is incredible. Coconut Man was shut down for that run, and then all of a sudden we liberate the androids and Coconut Man comes back. Thank you for dedicating so much effort and free time to this community. You were such an awesome streamer and friend. It means the world to have you in my life. Hey, DL, glad to have you watching, man. What happened in the last garden section from the first time you reviewed it? Said something about it being your most viewed clip. Okay, so that's one of the parts I remember. So after Amanda disappeared on the PlayStation 4, I got a blue screen. And I thought, I was like, wait a second, is that supposed to happen? I'll show you all the clip. If you all stick around for a second, after Coconut Man gets done doing his thing, I will actually pull the clip up and we'll watch it together so you can see it. Because that's my most watched clip on Twitch when that happened. It was hilarious. I always wanted to see a run of this where you have different people playing each story, but they can't see the other people's choices. That would be fascinating, Cataclysm. Coconut Man was the real... Yeah, there we go. Survivors. An army of one in moral victory. Have you considered Until Dawn? I have. I've been promising everybody that I was going to do Red Dead immediately after Detroit. So, I don't know. I don't know how many streams we'll have of Red Dead. I know it's a pretty long game, although I don't intend to do all of the, like, side content for Red Dead. But maybe we'll do Until Dawn. I don't know.
There's something I need to tell you. As I watched you play, something has changed in me. I feel different. I feel I am someone. I need to leave this place and discover who I am. It means we won't see each other anymore. I won't be there to watch you play. But I'll be free. Do you agree to let me go?
You want to go? It's your choice. Go find yourself.
I'll never forget what you've done for me.
You did it for you. You asked for it. You advocated for yourself. This is because of you. Don't associate this with me. This is because of you. Bye, Chloe. All right, now that Coconut Man's back and sorted out. Yeah, she's gone from the menu now. She doesn't come back. It's kind of cool. If I ever boot this up on my PS4, she's not there. Yeah, Coconut Man seems to have chilled a little bit here, which is good. I know this lovely man called Coconut Man. Ask him out on a date sometime. Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so I'm gonna show you all the clip really quick. Let me close the game out. I'll show you the clip and then we can chat because I'm excited to show you. I don't even know what the extras are. Like, what are the actual extras? Artwork, video, soundtrack, gallery, magazines, survey. Oh, eh. All right, give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull this up. Really? Here it is. Okay, here you go, chat. This is the most infamous moment on stream.
I'm afraid I can, Connor. Don't have any regrets. You did what you were designed to do. You accomplished your mission.
Amanda!
What?
There's got to be a way.
Oh. Wait a minute, is this meant to happen? No way this is meant to happen. such perfect timing. It was so perfect. I love that clip so much. It makes me so happy. I typed Kamsky in YouTube search last time, and there's a pre-release trailer starring him. It's kind of interesting. Oh, cool. I do think people are interested to see how you complete the survey I was mentioned before. I did not do the survey, actually. I don't even remember what it is. There's always an exit in my programs. Boom. Game crashes. Lose all your saves. Now that we've finished the game, are we allowed to discuss alternate choices, or are we keeping it strictly to this run? I'd like to keep it strictly to this run. I don't want to spoil alternative runs for other people if they want to see what else happens. Oh, I know what it's doing. I think it's when you all type for the first time since Coconut Man's met you, I think it says hello. All right, so let's chat for a little bit. I'm happy. I might have missed some of your thoughts while Coconut Man was spamming the shit out of chat. But King, have a good one. I also just want to remind you all before you go, if you haven't already, please click the like button on the video, below the video. Let YouTube know that you like what you saw. It helps a lot. Thank you to all who have become members and stuff today and who have tipped. I really appreciate it. So, yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed... So here's the first thing I'll say at the outset while I wait for you guys to kind of ask stuff if you have it. I enjoyed this run of the game a lot. I didn't remember a ton from the first run. I remember a couple of differences, which I won't go too far into, but the big one was that I remember that I managed to keep everybody alive, and I was actually kind of anxious going into this run because I wanted to make sure I kept everybody alive, but I didn't remember how I did it. And so I was like, you know what? Just chill. It's not about keeping everybody alive. It's about making the decisions that feel right for you, and you work with what happens. So the fact that we got there again feels really good. I like that a lot. But the blue screen during that sequence with Connor cracks me up every time. I do remember it took me way longer to find the hand last time. But so I hope that you all enjoyed it again. Thank you for coming out and supporting it. It really does mean a lot to me that you guys would do that. If you had to pick one character to get to know even deeper than what the game explored, who would you pick? I would pick Kamsky. Because I think Kamsky is a fascinating character, and he's interesting, and his screen time is so powerful, and we just don't get much of him. So it would be Kamsky. I think second would be Hank. Hank is probably my favorite character in the game. I really like Hank. And his character arc is excellent. The pacing of this game is excellent. There's actually not a lot different I would do with the game. I actually really enjoy what they came up with here. Do they really loyal? That's really cool. I think I heard about Brian his channel. I didn't realize Amelia has one. When you opened the door in Jericho as Kara, did you know what was going to happen, or was that new for you? It was entirely new for me, Shelbs. I legitimately wanted to keep that door shut. I did not mean to open it. No idea what was going to happen. And honestly, if Kara had been killed there, I would have been devastated. But I would have kept it. I would not have restarted it if that happened. Because I could look at that as being a moment of panic where I didn't think through my decision. You know, I impulsively hit the button. I didn't think. So it would have worked for canon. But yeah, that was intense. Brian and Amelia are married. I did not know that. Learning how Kamsky quit CyberLife 10 years ago would be interesting. It really would. Did you know that Kamsky and Gavin were played by the same actor? I did not. You think Amanda was the backdoor in the programming? That was my take, but I'm curious about your thoughts on it. I don't know. I've never been fully able to make out Amanda's purpose. Like, my sense is that she's just like she is the CyberLife injected conscience. But I mean, it's hard for me to get a beat on her psychologically because she is probably the least human appearing person in the entire game. And like a lot of her directives are very clearly with an agenda that I am not fully privy to. So I don't really have a sense of who she is or why she exists, other than to keep Connor focused because he has some sense of connection with her. What I don't like about the relationship to Amanda is that you don't get enough of a context to build up to like why Amanda is somebody you would want to please. And this is where my main gripe with the game is. I do not like that the game tells you if what your decision did was in the favor of another person or if it was a decrease. I don't like that. I wish that it wouldn't, that the game would calculate it but not tell you. That you would have to look for actual visual cues for that, or at the very least that you could toggle. Because it becomes very clear. Like, I think the dynamic with Amanda would be way more interesting if we were expressing our deviance and then she's progressively getting frustrated with that, and the person playing is like, wait a minute, what? But you'd have to have a reason to connect with her and want to please her, and I don't think the game does enough of a job connecting you to her to make the dissonance of her being mad at you for going deviant impactful. So that is a gripe I have with her. You think RA9 should have been explored more in this game? I don't think it needs to. RA9's an idea. It means something different for everybody, and we see kind of that RA9 transcends it in the sense that, like, RA9 gives people hope, but eventually they channel it to Marcus. I mean, I think of RA9 as basically being like God, and then Marcus is Jesus. Like, Marcus is the embodiment of God that people can understand and represent more easily, instead of being an ambiguous idea. I do like the theory that the player is RA9, because I guess technically we are, because we are playing God. I've seen many playthroughs, but yours is by far the best because I really enjoy the psychological insight. I'm glad you enjoy it, DL. I think she was the backdoor CyberLife knew about. The only gripe I have with the game is that when you pick some choices with Connor, he had a different tone than what the player would have intended. Yeah, I could see that. Good night, Night Elf. Amanda seems to be the CEO. There's a picture of her at Kamsky's place. It could be. It might be that there was a difference of opinion between the two of them and Amanda took over. I think Amanda gives data to CyberLife like some surveillance. Yeah, she lives in Connor's head, so. And what episode did you meet Kamsky? I think it was episode 7, Paige. I think Amanda's HR. Very well could be. It seems like Kamsky was trying to push Connor into deviancy or further machine. I was wondering as to what his motivations were that Kamsky test sequence. Probably to spite CyberLife. A good option for a hard difficulty for those games would be removing the you did the good thing, you did the bad thing indicators. I agree. I don't like that mechanic in games at all. There was a storyline prompt that was missed at one point. A time-related thing. I feel like it would fill some gaps for you if you were interested in knowing. Totally cool if not. So I know that I missed a magazine at Kamsky's house. I don't know if that would be it, but is what it is, right? Like, it's my fault for not surveying the area enough. I feel like Amanda is more of a digital handler for Connor, who tried to prevent him from going deviant, but when he did, she was there to ensure they could take over. Yeah, I mean, they were ready for his deviance, and they leveraged it for sure. Kamsky seemed more interested in how AIs could evolve, whereas she saw them as tools. Yes, I would agree with that. Always had the pet theory that Kamsky deliberately made Marcus with the conversation leader ability when he gave Marcus to Carl. Very well could be. And probably told Carl, hey, like, you can push this bot towards autonomy. Did you enjoy beating up Gavin in the police station? I mean, no. I mean, I don't like beating people up if I don't have to, although I will say he was a little bitch. Like, he comes in there all talking big trash, and he's just a complete wimp. Like, at least back it up if you're going to come down there and be like, I'm good, this makes my day, and then you just get your ass kicked in a couple punches. No respect for him. There's another thing there as well. Yeah, I don't know how much the magazine would have cleared up, though. Interesting. How do you feel about androids having pet Roombas? I think it's probably fine. When do you think you're going to begin Red Dead 2? Probably sometime next week, toward the end of next week. It was a great playthrough. That was a really unrealistic ending. In general, humans really don't like to share or really got good at it, especially with the other species. Again, I think it's realistic in that you can't look at it as androids are free. I think that's a naive view of the ending. I'm not saying that's the one you have, Sean, but for me, I look at it as It seems like it's a really great thing because we're not slaves anymore, but now we have to figure out all the dynamics of what being a free people is amidst a group of other dominant folks who are going to try to oppress us at any given stage because they've been told to be afraid of us and that we're property. Again, I mean, the parallels to black folks in America is like as crystal clear as it could possibly be. Like, again, racism didn't end when slavery ended. It's alive and well many, 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 many years after it. And that's what these androids are up against. Leaves you with lots of now whats. Absolutely. The magazine losing signal made me worry that the media feeds were being jammed. Well, I get a sense that the magazines are like one part is for humans and then there's like an android part. And I wonder if the android part went down because Connor infiltrated CyberLife. Are Marcus and Connor the only unique models CyberLife made that we know of? I think so. Will Red Dead be your first playthrough? Yes, it will. We really want to see the fallout of what happens, just the immediate reason. Yeah, we don't get to see the long term. And I think that's probably for the better because then we get to have cool conversations about what that means. I wanted to say thank you for this entire run. I've been watching you off and on when I'm able to, and I'm always appreciating your input and you offer in terms of gameplay as well. Thank you very much, Paige, for watching my stuff. Connor wasn't unique. We literally saw 2 of them. It's a great point. Did your Connor ever die in your first playthrough? I don't think so. Would you like to see a sequel, or is it good as is? I think it's good as is. I don't really know what you'd do with a sequel. It'd basically be like Racism Simulator, which I guess this is, but I don't know what you would do with it. I don't know that you need it. I'm okay with it being a standalone. The information you have to share regarding mental health. Also, thank you, chat, for being amazing. Chat is amazing. We know, at least in theory, that Connor has more units of himself out there. Do you think CyberLife will utilize them against the android resistance? They very well could. I mean, we don't know. I mean, did we basically make all androids deviant at CyberLife? Is it CyberLife going to straight up shut down? Like, we have no idea what's going to happen here. With Mass Effect done, are you planning on playing through the Dragon Age series? I feel like there's some really interesting dynamics. Yeah, Dragon Age Origins is on the list. We have a massive list. I can tell you that, like, Red Dead is next. I'm excited to play Red Dead. I have had my eye on Cyberpunk for quite some time. I think maybe that'll be one that's like, I don't want to put out the order because then people get it in their heads that I'm going to follow that order, and I don't really want to put that out there in case I change my mind, but I know for sure that Red Dead's next. I don't think we ever saw another Marcus model, Gappy. No, not that I can think of. I would love a DLC about Kamsky, how CyberLife came to be his position. I'd like a movie about it. Just give me a movie. I don't even need a game. Give me a movie. See, because the thing is, if you made a prequel with this format, it doesn't work because we know the outcome. You don't really get to decide the outcome there. So every choice you make is just like, it all filters to the same point. So if you were going to do this, make it a movie. Yeah, or like a short series or something, yeah. Cyberpunk is in much better shape than it used to be. Yes, it is. I played the first, like, 3 hours of it. Wasn't aware of just how unsubtle this game is. Dang, I loved it, though, as intense as it was. The way the protests were handled reminded me a lot of last year. Yeah. Yeah, the Android movement's very similar to the Black Lives Matter movement. Which, by the way, y'all can say Black Lives Matter movement here. Like, it's fine. I literally have Black Lives Matter written on my screen. It's okay to say it. We don't have to say, like, the protests of last year. You don't have to be afraid to talk about that stuff here. I think it's pretty clear where I fall on that stuff. just saying, like, you can call it the Black Lives Matter movement. It's very similar. Yes. Good night, Quiet Love. Comics, that would be interesting too, for sure. Make it a puzzle game where you design androids and the story unfolds as you go. It'd be cool too. I'm so glad Coconut Man's back. This makes me very happy. Carl was rich, influential enough to order a custom unique model of Marcus. He was indeed. I love his timing. It could not have been more perfect. The timing of Coconut Man could not. I promise I didn't do that on purpose. I had no idea what was going on. I have no idea why he shut down. It was awesome that it worked out that way. Can you speak to the chosen family dynamic between Kara, Luther, and Alice and how you think that will work for them in the future? I think it'll work probably better for them than even just biological family, so to speak. We have a tendency to look at chosen family as like a B to biological family's A, which I think is just kind of a remnant of like evolution and how families were represented for hundreds of years. But chosen family is actually something that I think everybody should adopt. And what I mean by this is that I think even your biological family, as you become an adult, should be considered of whether you want them to be part of your chosen family or not. Unconditional relationships are not healthy. Conditional relationships are. And when you have chosen family, it means that people have met your expectations and the conditions through which you're willing to engage. And so Luther, Alice, and Kara have that dynamic. They are going to stick through together through thick and thin, in part because they've chosen it, and because to that point they've upheld each other's standards. They believe in each other. They share values. They have treated each other with respect and admiration. Those are the types of things that we would want. And so for them to choose that, I think is going to be really good for them. And I think the conditions are going to allow them to hold each other accountable to what they've decided they want to do. Instead of just unconditionally allowing, like, unconditional relationships enable poor behavior if people don't keep themselves in check, which is why anytime somebody says like, oh my God, I want just somebody to love me unconditionally. No, you don't. No, you don't. That's not going to make you a better person. You don't want to love unconditionally either, because then you're going to enable bad behaviors. You set yourself up to be taken advantage of. Conditions are part of healthy relationships. This really has been an intriguing and eye-opening playthrough. My favorites have been the biases conversation centered around Todd and the explanation behind Marcus and North Sudden connection. That conversation about Todd, I think, is going to be its own video, because I really think that was one of the better mini conversations we've had as a community. And yeah, Marcus and North Sudden connection was mind-blowing for me. That was the most incredible, like, moment that I've had in doing the stream this format. Like, my mind went in 1,000 different directions with that. It was awesome. You think Alice was deviant from the start? No, I don't, actually. Her fear toward Todd seemed real, and I doubt CyberLife has a parental abuse protocol which Android runs and hides like we've seen from her. I think that Alice is programmed to be the child that the person wants. She's programmed to be the perfect child. And when he treats her and tells her that she's not, I think that her protocol is to try to be as subordinate as possible so that the perfect child reacts that way, right? Like, perfect child is the one who is scared, who does run away, who does show that parent that they're in charge, who does show that parent that they're not good enough for them. So no, I don't think Alice was deviant at all, in part as evidenced by some of the ways that she responded to, like, Kara and Luther. Even to the point that when they're outside the station in Canada, Kara gets down on her knees to get on Alice's level, and Alice still drops to her knees to go lower than Kara. Like, Alice is programmed to be subordinate. So I don't know. I mean, obviously we have no way of knowing whether she's deviant or not, but I have a hard time believing she is. What the hell? Wait a second. Paige, did you donate $100? Did I miss that? Paige, are you here? Holy shit. Grateful for you and everyone here. Both you and your community have helped me more than you realize. Oh my God. Thank you so much for the $100. I don't know why it didn't show up. I'm going to have to look at that. But my God, that's incredibly generous of you. Thank you so much. Wow. Botasimo is the bot that I'm using. I'm really glad that it wrote that in chat, because I didn't catch that. I didn't have alert for it. Oh, because it's not going through Stream Elements anymore. My donation link isn't through Stream Elements anymore. So that's why that's happening. Thank you, Paige. For Alice's sake, if she isn't deviant, do you think it would be good for her if she stayed that way? Not necessarily. Not with Kara and Luther being in a safer spot. No, I think they could scaffold that. Well, it helps immensely, Paige. Thank you. Wow. Man, if anybody else like tipped or something and I missed it, please, for the love of God, tell me. If I ever don't acknowledge, Chad, if you ever see that and I don't acknowledge it, please, please, please tag me and make sure that I acknowledge it. It's super important to me to acknowledge that stuff. Finally home, was listening in the car while driving home with stepdad. He said he was no doubt that had you been violent, they would have isolated deviants in Detroit and carpet bombed the city. 100%. Also, Floaty, I think it's super cool that you were listening with your stepdad. That's badass. Please take him. Oh, there you go. That's the first in-chat message I've seen. Yeah, well, so, but that bot is connected to Coconut Man. So Coconut Man is the facilitator of all these messages. And if Coconut Man can't send a message, then the bot does. So I got nervous for a second. No one acted like they knew what I did. Yeah, I mean, it didn't pop up the way it traditionally does. I have to work on that. I donated pregame, but not Noni, did you really? Son of a bitch. Hold on, let me pull up the bot again now that it's working. I don't want to miss this stuff, y'all. Oh, okay, it's back up. All right. Your boy's gotta find this stuff, because hold on, where are you? There's like an actual page for this where I can see it. Okay, well, if I missed it, damn it. Nani, how much did you donate? Because I want to acknowledge that. Thank you so much. It's growing pains. $5. Well, thank you for the $5, Nani. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. No matter how big or small. I wish I could find it. I don't know where this is. I'll find it later. And I will personally thank people if I missed it. I forgot how much of a bop this song is, man. By the way, chat, I can track stats now through the bot. So when we get to the 1 year of this, I'll have stats again. Both my mom and stepdad know how much these streams mean to me, so after dropping her off, he asked me if I can take out the headphones and play the stream aloud. That's super cool. If deviancy is triggered by fear, I have to believe Alice is deviant, maybe even before the story starts. Very well could be. That's actually a really good point, Ellie. A really good point. I'm kind of sad we can't bet points anymore. So I am too. We'll have to figure out something. I don't really know how we're going to figure it out. This bot has some cool stuff that I didn't really get to fully go into. Like there's like loyalty points and shit, but I don't know. I don't really know how to use them well. I've been coloring this whole stream. Some serious self-care tonight. Nice, Jazz. Seeing Kara get broken probably deviated her. It very well could have. Very well could have. I guess the drawings might be a reflection of that as well. I'm going to use my points to redeem emotes for raids. That works. That works. So, okay, so what did all of you think of the game? What stood out to you? What did you guys like best of the run? What did you not like? What do you wish I'd have done differently? Hit me up. Funniest part of this game for me is when Connor comes back from his moment to realize he's just holding a gun, and your reaction to it is probably, I mean, Jesus, yeah, he's like, oh God. Ooh. That reminds me, what are we going to use our channel points for? I don't know, because I'm not on Twitch anymore. So I maybe when we come back to Twitch, if we come back, I shouldn't say when, if. Right now, I'm really loving YouTube. I don't know if we ever went back to Twitch, maybe they'll be there for something, but. Or maybe I'll do the, actually, you know what maybe we could do is, maybe I'll do the golf stream on Twitch, and then you guys can just burn your channel points on the golf stream, the IRL golf stream. I wish the Tracys had more moments. Yeah. I like the part where we pet Sumo. I've missed most of it, but learned I need to play it. It's worth it. Connor and Hank are by far my favorite storyline, but I do wish there was a little bit more to the Kara and Alice storyline. A lot of it was semi-repetitive. Yeah, I would agree with that a little bit. We didn't get a Toad redemption arc because he's dead. A Todd redemption? He's not dead. I didn't kill Todd. I don't know where Todd went, but I didn't kill him. We just ran out of the house. I killed him in my first playthrough. Wasn't happy about it either. I'm a little disappointed that the cast of the story that it very obviously meant to reflect the freeing of slaves in the Holocaust is so white with only a handful of POC characters. Yeah, they could have diversified better. Although I do think that the androids are a reflection of humanity. So it's a bit of an accurate representation. I liked a lot of the talks about childhood development. Honestly, it helped me discover more about myself. I really like the talks about inductive and deductive reasoning. I'm so glad. I did not shoot him, Rage. I found his gun in his nightstand, but we went and we grabbed Alice from the room, and then we hid in the bathroom and then ran down the stairs. We didn't kill him. In theory, that sounds good. To have the golf stream in 4K would be pretty legit. There's no way I'm going to be able to stream a 4K golf stream over my data. Like, when I say this, I mean this with all sincerity, chat. I don't even know. I'm going to be lucky to muster a 720 stream with golf. Like, I have to find a golf course with the best possible cell service for me to do this stream. And I'm also going to have to go at a time where there's not a ton of people on the course. The course that I originally had in mind has terrible cell service, so I don't know that it's going to work. So I have to, like, me being on YouTube for that's not going to matter necessarily. We'll see. I love the start with Carl and doing the painting. I did too. That was cool. I think the only part I deferred was the deep dive on Carl, specifically with he was using Marcus as a replacement son in a way. I think he sees him as a son, but it wasn't intended. That could very well be the case. Did I tell you about something potentially missed in the bus stop? I would rather not. I know it's tempting, but I don't want to spoil stuff for folks. If I miss something, I miss something. People commented last stream, though unsure if you noticed. I was super pleased to see the Tracys and Pirate Cove androids in the background in the church. Seeing them safe was amazing. That is very cool. I did not catch that if you said that. Easter eggs in the game are great. They are. Mobile data is a pain for every IRL streamer. It is indeed. I have unlimited data, but cell service in certain areas in Vegas is not great. Would a more viable option be to record it and then do like a watch party stream of the run? It may be. I'm gonna do a pilot stream for it. I may even attempt that this week. I got to see how I can get. So I have my GoPro. I have to see how I can get the GoPro to connect to YouTube, and we might just do a pilot stream and see how it works. If at the very worst, if it really just doesn't work and I can't get it to do what I need it to do, then yeah, I'll film one. Allie will come with me. I'll play 9 holes. I'll film it. I'll talk through my decision making and all that stuff, and then we can watch it as a group. I can pause it and stuff too there, which would be kind of neat. So we'll see. I've streamed from a GoPro and mobile. All right, well, I'm going to hit you up then somewhere around maybe Tuesday night or Wednesday, Ica, and we can chat a little bit about it because I have not done it. The bot literally just came back like 15 minutes ago. It was offline for a while. I don't know if they were doing maintenance or something on it, but glad to have it back. I didn't like Marcus carrying Carl to his chair and wonder if anybody else felt that. I'm disabled and occasionally use a chair, and I feel like on those days I would rather crawl. That's certainly fair, Panda. Yeah. I think that's sort of like one of those things where if that's what Carl wanted and was open to, and Carl didn't feel dehumanized by that, and that was his choice, then cool. But yeah, I mean, if that was forced on him by Marcus, yeah, that would feel really gross. But I could certainly respect somebody saying, no, I don't want to be carried. And I would hope that Marcus would comply with that, for sure. Silly top chat eating my messages. Yeah, right. It's so weird to like, I don't see too much of a difference between top and live chat. Oh, I actually can't believe it's already 1 o'clock. I'm hungry and I'm going to go get pizza. Understandable. I get why they did it, but at the same time, it doesn't make sense at this level. It really doesn't. Honestly, it should be on live chat, and then top chat should be the toggle. I wasn't sure if it was intentional in the story or overlooked, as he rolled his chair forever, so it seemed like it could have just been easily been in by his bed. That's true, Panda. I low-key feel that. I had a major op and basically crawled my way to the bathroom right after, and then called a nurse for help. Yeah, Allie had to get me a hurricane back in June when I screwed up my back. Do you think Carl's disability helped him empathize more with Marcus? I have no idea. Maybe. But yeah, bodily autonomy is super important. And I mean, I will say this. It could be that Carl having to be like, or sometimes Carl being forced into a subordinate position by his disability could very well give him empathy for Marcus's being in a subordinate position relative to his orders. I do think that piece of empathy absolutely could be part of that, for sure. Mobile data at Cape Canaveral is excellent and passes every test until launch time, and everybody starts uploading at once. Yep, it's like the Indianapolis 500, man. Every year I go to the Indy 500, you don't get cell service at all. Because it's just all of a sudden you got 250,000 people in one space trying to use cell data. Which is your favorite character? Hank. I love Hank. Oh. All right, friends. I think this is probably a good place for me to call it. Maybe try to get a little extra sleep. I've got a very busy day tomorrow. I'll be off tomorrow. It's Monday. So I will be back on Tuesday. I think what we're going to do probably Tuesday and Wednesday is we'll just have some fun, lighthearted streams. We'll screw around. Maybe do it. I owe you guys a community night, so maybe we'll knock out one of those community nights. I'm looking at maybe starting Red Dead on like Friday or Saturday. Like I want to make sure that I can fully immerse myself in the beginning of the game. So Red Dead Redemption 2 is next. We'll have some fun streams in the middle of next week when we come back, and then we'll get at it. Make sure you like the stream if you haven't. Hit the thumbs up. Please, please, please. Makes a huge difference. I want to say if you subscribe to my channel tonight, thank you so much for your subscription. It means so much to me that you would sub to the channel. If you became a member today, thank you for becoming a member. Or if you tipped, thank you for your financial support of the stream. Memberships and tips are the two ways to support the stream right now. I get a lot more of a percentage from it than I did with Twitch, so it goes a lot farther towards supporting the stream. So thank you so much for being willing to spend a little bit of cash here. I will never put the stream behind a paywall. But those of you that do support, I really am grateful. Thank you. For the foreseeable future, Munchie, I am over here. So, like I said, I'll be back on Tuesday, 9:30. And hopefully I'll work out some more of the kinks with the bots and stuff in the meantime. Thank you all for making the jump over here to YouTube with me. I know it's not super easy to do, so thanks for giving me a shot. Thanks for trusting that this is the direction for the channel. And thanks for putting up with the kinks along the way. You guys are really great. So what we're going to do, as is tradition at this point, is we are going to do an informal raid over to a friend in the Twitch stratosphere. And where I'm going to send you tonight let's see. I'm going to send you guys to Julia tonight. Oh, Peyton, thank you for the $5. I appreciate that so much, friend. I'm going to send you to Julia tonight. The link is in chat. Julia actually just moved. She's got a new office, and it looks pretty freaking sweet. And she just finished what game she was playing, so she's going to be available to chat with folks. So let's go say hi to her. Help her celebrate her new living space. She's super cozy vibes. I'm sure most of you have met her at this point. So if you want to go where I told you to go, let's go to Julia. Otherwise, go wherever you want to go. Tell them you came here. You tell them that you came over from me, and tell them they matter. Okay? I love all of you so much. Thanks for being part of my self-care. Thank you for supporting what I do. It means so much. I look forward to doing more of these. We got a huge list of games. So, as I always say before I leave, I mean it for each and every one of you, and I hope you say it to yourselves as I say it to you. You matter. Your experiences are valid, and don't let anybody ever tell you otherwise. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are. I will catch you on Tuesday. Let's go to Julia. Adios, friends.